Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists.
Whoopsie.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who. Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hello.
how's everyone doing today?
Great.
How are you? I'm doing good. Obviously, we should start with some news.
Some very bad news that they
David
probably
Doel,
noticed.
Right? David
And
Doel no
Rebecca.
longer with the show.
No, that's good news. That's good news.
Rebecca no longer with the show. Leftist
That's bad
Mafia
news. That's bad news.
is now myself, Mike, and Lance. And joining us today, Christina, aka Cosmepolitics.
Hello.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, Christina. I'm sure most people know who you are, but tell us who you are if they don't.
So it dates back all the way to the night of my father's birthday when I was conceived. Anyway, no.
It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, I'm originally from New Jersey. I moved down to South Carolina.
Wait, hold on. Did you say you were conceived on your father's birthday?
I was supposed to be born in December, but I came 2 months early in October. So, but I'm originally from New Jersey. I've lived down in South Carolina for most of my life. I'm a working class woman who helps her mother with her house cleaning business. And whenever I have free time, I'm live streaming. I'm podcasting on a little podcast called Movie Night Extravaganza. A little bit of news on that. Next week, Sam Cedar's coming back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think
Very
I've heard of that
cool.
guy before.
I know.
Okay,
Some newbie.
yeah.
Some new guy.
Nice.
Actually, you're gonna see him next week when he's on with you. You're gonna see him more recently than I have by probably months. I rarely ever interact with Sam, even though I'm on the Majority Report every week.
Yeah.
Why?
And you guys did a little bit of a fun half.
Well, because I'm not on with him. I go on with Emma. So
okay.
Sam and I mean, we talk to each other every now and then, but it's not like I need to check in with him every week.
Because you're on M Majority Report Thursdays.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
on with Emma, and Emma wasn't there today, so it was just me and Brandon today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should state really quick that, to be clear, of course, we're usually joking. David Doel is still not feeling well. He will be back next week. Rebecca, I believe, will be here, but this is not a great time for her, so sometimes it kind of overlaps with her work schedule. She'll probably be here in a little bit. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Emma was out today because she was sick at the Majority Report. David out today because he's sick. There's clearly some sort of anti-lefty bug going around, just
A
affecting
woke
leftist
mind virus, you might say.
A woke mind virus. Ooh.
Mind virus, probably.
Well, I hope I don't get it, but yeah, I'm glad that David stayed home so he doesn't give his woke mind virus to all of us, and same with Emma.
I
'Cause then you
think
can get it from her,
you
give it to
are.
us.
I think you've basically vaccinated yourself from any woke mind virus with your official campaign policy on Israel that you unveiled last week.
True.
That's still the most insane tweet I think I've ever read.
my God,
I
you serious?
I thought it was going to be like offensive or get us in trouble or something where we're all going to get canceled after we see it on screen. And when I saw it on screen, I was like, oh wow, no, that's funny.
I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been rage tweeting quite a bit, but I'm not the only one. So I've been chomping at the bit because I didn't do a video about this week to talk about the beef between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens.
Oh hell
Have
yeah.
any of you
I'm so here
followed
for
this
it.
shit?
Yeah, we
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about it
I
on
covered
the
it all
Majority
day.
Report today. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely brutal and ugly. And I went out of my way to find every single tweet that's relevant here. I'll add it. So it starts back with this, if you'll allow me to kind of take you through the journey, folks. So Candace Owens kind of vaguely tweets, doesn't mention
No, you should close your
Israel.
messages.
Oh. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay.
Was that
God, now people-
was that regular correspondence I saw between Mike and the IDF?
Yeah,
What?
God, I had my DMs with Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin up. Fuck.
Oh no.
Um,
oh no.
But so it starts with this. She doesn't name Israel here, but she says no government anywhere has a right to commit genocide ever. There's no justification for a genocide. So she kind of vague tweets about Israel. Then there's this. She got pushback from Dave Rubin.
Your DMs are open again. Your DMs are open again.
Why do they keep popping
Probably.
up? Okay. Oh, there.
Can you are you able to zoom in? Can you zoom in so we don't even see that? Like
Yeah.
zoom in, zoom in so
You know,
we just
I
see
don't-
the tweet.
Yeah, I don't have anything to hide, so it's not that big of a deal. But
Zoom
yeah.
in more. Keep going. Keep going.
There we go.
All right.
Will it be like that on this page? Yes. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So
It's
I
gonna
can't
pop up on the next
see.
tab.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's okay. I don't have any I don't have anything bad.
You
bad
don't
stuff.
got any like George Santos OnlyFans, situation.
No, no, we should talk about that too. But
all right.
anyway,
Start from the beginning. Rewind. We'll
okay, let me rewind. So it starts with a vague post from Candace Owens. She doesn't name Israel, but she says no government anywhere has a right to commit a genocide ever. Now it's Candace Owens. She's been wrong about literally everything.
That
she's
sounds like
said.
how you. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting
broken
again,
clock.
but the way you said that sounded like it's gonna like how like a future Gen Z oriented teen movie's gonna start. It started with a vague post.
And to give you additional context, so all of this beef between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro is taking place after she vehemently defended the Daily Wire from Steven Crowder's attacks, right? So you would think that she would have built up some goodwill with Ben Shapiro, but apparently
Wasn't she
not.
also defending Ye as well, though? Like, wasn't that
She
the
was-
first kind of
Yeah.
like that's when she drew first cancel culture because like she was defending Ye a lot during that horrifying Hitler arc.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think he's still kind of going through it.
he is for sure.
Well,
she defended him.
She took photos with him around that time. She was
Right.
her husband was selling Parlor to Kanye at the time.
That's right.
Oh,
I
okay,
forgot
right.
about that.
Yeah, I believe she defended him up until the Alex Jones interview,
right?
Which was kind of the grand finale. But then she made this response to Dave Rubin, who pushed back against what she said. Dave Rubin has me blocked, so I can't see what he has to say. So she, you need to check.
Oh, come on.
yourself.
You know
She
how to
says
get
this is
around
Dave
that,
Rubin.
Mike. You know how to get around that.
I told him he made a like stupid tweet like he always does, and I just quote tweeted said "Shut up, Dave," and then he blocked me for that.
That was enough
Yeah.
for his block. Oh
Yes.
wow.
Yeah, I said
blocked
something
everybody.
mean to
He
him one
blocked
time.
Oh
and
no,
he
he's
blocked
blocked me too, but I think I earned it.
Yeah, I don't think I earned it, but by now I have. But at the time, I don't think that I did. But, some more Dave Rubin tweets, some more posts. So, responding to Nikki Haley, talking about, if not, it's not that Israel needs America. America needs Israel. And then she asks, do you know which country you're currently running for president within? Which is a good question, right? Okay, now we have more. She's actually being explicit, talking about Israel. Responding
could you also add a drill preface here that like you don't gotta hand it to when I talk about Candace Owens or Andrew Tate or any of these fucking horrifying ghouls doing this stuff, I say that you should talk about this in terms of they're outflanking like people who should know better and be saying better things like Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or Justin Trudeau. Those are the people who need to start calling for a ceasefire. So yes, the worst people in the world are also echoing some of those sentiments, but I don't gotta hand it to them. Like I'm not suddenly like, well, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna give Candace Owens a second chance here. No, it's highly critical unsupport.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out because a broken clock can be right twice a day. And
Exactly.
with regard to Israel-Palestine, Candace Owens is not somebody who should be part of this movement because as you're gonna see, she was part of a Tucker Carlson interview where he went like full Nazi.
Yeah.
And so this is somebody who you don't want as an ally, but for whatever reason, she has decided to be correct on this issue. Although I will say,
if you read why, I mean, you could see why she's being.
I mean,
why she's saying what she's saying.
She went with the whole all genocide is bad. However, she's like, Hitler did some cool things.
Right.
He just wanted to stay in Germany. Well,
he was. How did you put it? He wanted to expand. He didn't stay a nationalist. That was a problem. If only he had stayed within Germany's borders, then and you're like, that's what I mean. The persecution of Jews started way before that within Germany. But yeah, go off.
Right. And part of this, I should point out the hypocrisy here. Part of this is she talks about anti-Semitism being weaponized. That's what Queen Rania said. But she did the same thing, as Matt Leck points out, right? Where she was calling AOC, Jeremy Corbyn, Ilhan Omar, all anti-Semitic, right? So she played the same game that she's now criticizing. So she's not consistent on this. She is indeed a hypocrite. Okay, so now in response, we get to Ben Shapiro, which is where I have to go to a different tab because I don't have sound activated on this one. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share a different one. This goes pretty deep. And also, what I love about this is there were a lot of right-wingers who joined in and started attacking Ben Shapiro too. So this is a beautiful story. Give me 1 second.
They used the clip that you're about to play on the Tucker Carlson episode, by the way. That's one of the ones they referenced.
Oh, okay. Then
I watched the full 40 minutes. Well, no, we don't have to watch it. It's like 40 minutes of just unhinged, like white genocide is real. No one talks about it, kind of stuff. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, basically he just calls Candace Owens despicable. You'll see it later, so I'll skip that because we'll see it again. I don't want to be redundant. So let me go back to my original tab here. Okay. Bring it back in. Okay, he calls her despicable, and then she vague posts in response talking about Jesus. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So, she does all this because I guess she's choosing to take the higher road when we all know that if this wasn't her boss, she would be going hard because she went hard on Steven Crowder.
I think you're misunderstanding this tweet. I don't think this is the higher road. I think this is a very
well, in the sense that she didn't directly call out Ben Shapiro, but go ahead.
But I think this is very clearly because this tweet was made right after a video went viral,
right?
Of Ben Shapiro calling her out at some private party that they were at. There was some sort of party Ben Shapiro was at, and he had the mic and he called her out. And she posted this the next morning or something. I mean, it's very clearly a reference to Ben Shapiro.
Right. Okay, so then Ben Shapiro sees this and responds. I don't know. We don't have David to do the Ben Shapiro voice. Lance, do you have a Ben Shapiro voice?
No, that would be deeply anti-Semitic. I'll just say, Candace.
I'll try it. Candace, if you feel like...
Oh, yeah.
Candace, if you feel like taking money from the Daily Wire, small comes between you and God. By all means, quit.
that was pretty good.
I debated Ben Shapiro 10 years ago on Twitter regarding transgender issues because he was threatening to sue that one transgender reporter who put her hand on the back of his neck, was like, I can beat you up. And I'm like, your point's not really getting through. Regardless of gender, people are going to be threatening or violent. It doesn't matter if someone is trans or cis. Wait, hold
on. Mr. Husteen in the chat goes, quoting Mike, that would be anti-Semitic, and then he follows it up with me. I'll try it. Hey, doing a Ben Shapiro, listen, doing a Ben Shapiro voice is not anti-Semitic.
No,
it would be anti-Semitic if you did.
So we're clear. I'm totally joking. I'm just saying almost anything you do right now, especially if you are a very strong advocate for the liberation of Palestine right now, they'll just and here's a clip of the serfs impersonating a Jewish man and doing a racist Jewish voice,
that right. No, but I remember this conversation back on the Majority Report days when Michael Brooks was doing all these great impressions. Yeah. And we had there was maybe one or two people who was like, that's inappropriate, isn't it? And it's well, no, if you're doing a voice of a very specific person and that's an impression of them, that's not inappropriate. It's inappropriate if you're doing
Rebecca,
a very tropey voice, then you just say it's generic insert race gender, religion here.
Yeah, Rebecca, we are going over Candace Owens versus Ben Shapiro.
Okay. And hey, guys. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm good. A little sleepy, but I'm here, baby. We are here. Go ahead.
For a good time, right?
I'll fill in. I'll be right there.
You're good. What were you going to say, Lance?
Oh, I've completely forgotten now. I think we were talking. Oh, about voices. Oh, yeah. Well, also, Michael Brooks gets a pass because Obama was half white, right? So he was impersonating the white half.
Yes.
But also, Michael was really good.
No. Let's move on.
Okay, so he tweets this at Candace Owens saying, by all means quit, and she is pissed off. She responds to that tweet saying, you have been acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for weeks now, and we have all had to sit back and allow it and have all tried to exercise exceeding understanding for your raw emotion. But you cross a certain line when you come for scripture and read
audio
yourself
coming out of their
into it.
computer. You can hear it in the background.
Is it me?
I don't think your mic is coming through. It doesn't sound like you're using a mic.
Oh, it might be. Okay, it might be the laptop. And then she says,
It might
I
be
will not
headphones.
tolerate it. Okay. Then she quote tweeted him and says, you are utterly out of line for suggesting that I cannot quote biblical scripture. The Bible is not about you. So he came for the Bible, and that's where I think he made the biggest mistake, because she was just talking about Jesus, and then he told her to quit. So she thinks he crossed the line, and then other right-wingers jumped in. Charlie Kirk, for example, joined in on the dog pile, saying, I am genuinely confused why asking questions and quoting Bible verses about peace warrants to call to resign from Daily Wire. There should be more room in the conservative movement for disagreement. We can do better than this. Now he's taking the high road himself, or trying to, when he said very anti-Semitic things on his show, I believe today. All of these people are demons and ghouls, so just keep that in mind, folks. There's no there's no good guy here.
Just for weeks, by the way, Charlie Kirk has been cataloged by Media Matters as spreading like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about liberal Jewish people controlling the media and controlling academic institutions, and he was like doing a whole bunch of like impersonations of all these rabbis, being like greedy for money and stuff like that. Like Charlie Kirk is just a straight up open and proud racist kind of a dude.
Yeah, they're all going to mask off. Sorry, say that again, Christina?
And Elon Musk as well. Like a few companies are dropping out of ads from Twitter because he's literally, believing the typical conspiracy theories surrounding Jewish people.
Yeah, they're really going mask off explicitly.
I think what I said earlier on the Majority Report regarding this is what I think is going on here. I mean, obviously you have basically someone who's anti-Semitic in Candace Owens and someone who's Islamophobic in Ben Shapiro, and they're having a fascist off. But
not wrong.
What we're really seeing here, I think, is Candace Owens knows that she has a different audience than the rest of the Daily Wire. Her audience, she's much more appealing to this new generation of young right-wingers who are much more in line with the Pepe memes and the Groypers and those types. And Candace Owens is cool to them. I mean, she's sort of embraced pop culture. She's in ways that like Ben Shapiro going over
pop culture all day though.
Yeah, like no, but Ben Shapiro mocking like Cardi B for like WAP or whatever is not cool. Candace Owens has sort of has a more with it audience because they're younger. They have a very different idea of what's cool, and like a old neocon type like Ben Shapiro is not cool to them. Daily Wire is not cool to a lot of far right wingers. I mean, they like it because every now and then Matt Walsh focuses on trans people, but Candace Owens is has a totally different audience than most of those Daily Wire hosts, and I think she's making a play here to distance herself from them and eventually go off on her own, or maybe even team up with Charlie Kirk, who runs one of the largest youth right-wing organizations there is. I mean, she clearly knows where her audience is.
So what is okay? Let's just because I came in late, and I said don't mind me, but mind me. So what are they fighting about? Like I really want to know because usually these are the people. Their audience is usually on the same page for some BS that they've said that's super right wing, super against marginalized groups, super disrespectful, just nasty. So what is the issue? Because I'm shocked to hear Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens going at it. Not that I've ever heard them together for any reason, but I know that their base usually is on the same side of things. So what's their issue?
Candace is making a stance for Palestine, apparently, which Ben Shapiro is not too pleased with.
Very, very interesting.
And they're kind of, they keep going back and forth about it.
Ben Shapiro is notoriously racist against Arabs. He has a really infamous tweet from, I think, 2010, where he said that Arabs like to bomb and destroy stuff and live in sewage. He's been very, very rah Israel during their genocide in Palestine. And so she made some posts about how genocide is bad. And then somebody asked him about this, and he called her comments disgusting. And then that's when it kind of, it all set off to what we're seeing now. Not just Candace Owens, like kind of going back and forth with him, but other right-wingers coming in to defend her, which is interesting to me. Now, you also have Cernovich, who is, I think, effectively a Nazi. I don't think that's uncharitable. I think he is.
Well, he also used to run a blog, for anyone who doesn't know, that was basically advocating for sexual assault, and it was one of the grossest blogs on the internet.
I mean,
he's a massive rape apologist.
He even said that certain types of rape don't exist. Like, I believe his exact words were, you can't date rape somebody. It's not a thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, I just want to remind people, as Lance pointed out, like, there are no good guys here.
Oh no, this is all let them fight.
That's putting it very lightly.
These are the worst people in the world, and they're all fighting. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So he says this in response to Ben Shapiro basically telling her to quit. Must be too expensive to fire her. Would require paying out all or some of the contract. Anyway, chill out, man. You've been wrong about most everything from Tupac and why did I read that as Tupac? And I said Tupac also. That was I don't know. My brain just like malfunctioned.
Because you said Tupac, and I'm like, okay, I was gonna help you on the pronunciation. And I'm like, okay, no.
Not only did I say Tupac instead of Trump, but I said Tupac. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Anyways, brain glitch aside. Everything from Trump in 2016 to the COVID vaccine, and he was wrong about the COVID vaccine, i.e. he was actually right and not anti-vax. So this is fucking hilarious. Sorry. And the Middle Eastern war she supported. If anyone needs to pray for humility, it's you. And then we also have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just want to interject here. The reason this is actually pretty delicious as a fight between the right is because they have built up their entire fucking ethos of being free speech. We don't cancel. We don't 1984. We're not cancel culture. And Ben Shapiro has said multiple times that he's never going to kick someone off his show just for having a difference of opinion, even if the opinion is so extremely against what he believes, which this could be one of the biggest juxtaposition maybe ever in his history. So no one wants to be the cancel culture first here. No one. He doesn't want to fire Candace any more than Candace wants to quit because she feels that she's like in enemy territory or something.
Yeah, and if she quits, then he can say that she's canceling them, right? I guess
exactly.
So what was their specific stance? Like, what did she say specifically that was, for Palestine?
So she basically, I'll go back to her original.
It was a pretty strong statement. It was stronger than like a lot of progressive politicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, she came out swinging here. She also was talking about Queen Rania, and, she brought up how, these claims of anti-Semitism are being weaponized against pro-Palestine people, and she cited that as well. Although, I mean, she did the same thing and called the left, who were pro-Palestine, anti-Semitic before. But, that's kind of like the crux of what she said. And then we have Elijah Schaffer. This is somebody who I believe he's the one who joked about murdering trans kids on his show.
Yes. Well, he's got a handful of things. He got kicked off the Blaze for allegedly sexually assaulting a co-worker while they were screening a movie at a theater. He groped her breasts without her consent, and he has not admitted to it at all. But anytime he's questioned by the right-wingers on it, he gets really, really sketchy and says, I can't talk about that because of I can't talk about the terms of that. And like, well, if you didn't do it, you can talk about it, right? And he's like, I can't talk about it. So, file that under probably.
Yeah, very, very sus. So he says, Ben Shapiro got triggered by real Candace Owens quoting the Bible. OMG. We've also got Lauren Chen, who is a right-wing YouTuber. I believe she used to go by,
Canadian
Roaming Millennial or something?
So Candace Owens works with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, she's part of the Daily Wire network.
For a company he founded, but he's not the CEO.
Okay,
he's
but
not the CEO, but he is the co-founder.
He could fire her in some way, shape,
He could get her fired, no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like maybe because they work on the same network, I feel like they would be, the right likes to whisper in each other's ear and, be like social media. They love a circus. And so if they could be at odds, and this is, my opinion, okay, they could be at odds and make it seem like, oh my God, there's such an issue here. Like Ben Shapiro, if he does have the power to probably get her fired in any way, I don't think that she would be going so hard for Palestine. I would love, or it's not that I would love, but it's not so bad to hear people being on the side of humanity. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if this is just something to just amp up some views or whatever.
Oh yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's not being legit in her support. Yeah,
because if she's in the past has a history of being anti-Semitic, speaking against people of brown skin, Middle Eastern people, that kind of thing, and I feel like this could be just something that they are hyping up for social media views or whatever. But that's just me. I don't know. Because I'm like, y'all on the same network and y'all fighting online. Let's be for real here. Okay. Send me an email, send me a text, whatever the case may be. But this is giving for her to be on the right side of humanity. I ain't shocked because people are dying. And if you are a real person who feels at any point in time, even though you've been grifting, okay, that people of Palestine need a ceasefire. That they need help. They need to stop killing people over there. The people of Gaza, there's issues happening. You've seen the videos, the pictures. How can you be just on the side of a humanitarian pause? So even if the right is having a conversation on that, I don't think we should applaud them because this is this is just real stuff happening. And, you call it out. That's just it. But what's happening here, I don't know. It seems a little fishy.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I'll just add that, if she was actually being authentic and she really felt strongly, she could resign from the network. Look, I've heard of cases where people resign from the network that they were previously on when they made comments that they disagreed with. So, yeah. Anyways.
Here, pull this. Oh,
okay, let me just. We don't have to read this, but I'm just going to show you. We got Lauren Chen. This is the last one, but we can watch the video after we go through yours. What is it?
Pull this old tweet up from Candace. I had a feeling if you searched, you would find something like this. I don't think. To back up my theory that she's not legit in her support for Palestine. Pulled this old tweet.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
She's a bullshit artist, of course.
Okay, give me a sec.
This is from 2018. I'll wait for you to pull it up. I literally just thought of looking now.
Wow.
This is Candace Owens in 2018.
Wow.
Ha 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 ha! OMG! This is AOC's old Twitter handle when she was just running for office. Ocasio 2018 thinks Palestine is a country that is being occupied. Ha 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 ha! I cannot stop laughing. And here's another one. I just looked and found this one. I don't know what the full context is for this and why she was going after Chelsea Handler, but here, pull this one up too. Her wording here is a bit sus as well.
Oh wow.
Chelsea is defending Palestinian terrorists. Sarah feels bad for MS-13, and you think decapitating a president is funny. That's talking about the Kathy Griffin Trump post. Yeah.
Yep.
She's
this was when they were trying to
There's
cancel
always a
Kathy
tweet.
Griffin.
Yeah, she's a bullshit artist. I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely full of shit. Now we get to her response. I have the video of her on Tucker Carlson. By the way, we're not going to watch all of this. It's very, very long, but it is wild. Because if you
it
watch
takes like 26 minutes to get to the clip you're thinking of. You might just want to play the clip. They talk about a lot of other stuff in it. I watched the thing in full today.
Okay. Well,
I'm so sorry.
I have it. So the timestamp of when she responds to Ben Shapiro is 4:27. We'll play that if you want. We can play that first before we get to the extreme anti-Semitism. I think they said, what was it, 4:27? Okay, I'll just play it here.
An actual debate, and there always should be an actual debate.
And when they never explain what you got wrong, they don't call it wrong. They call it disinformation, which suggests it could be right. That's usually a tell. And speaking of, so I was out of the country yesterday. And didn't have adequate internet access on the plane to really follow this. And I don't understand the context exactly. But the internet was dominated yesterday by video of Ben Shapiro, who you work with.
Very weird shot, I want to add, as someone who does his fair share of film work over the years. Very weird depth of field and.
His whole look is just throwing me off.
I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find them disreputable.
Damn.
So maybe there's a point in the video where he explains what exactly you did wrong, how you were wrong. I haven't seen it. But to call somebody, quote, absolutely disgraceful, particularly a coworker, seems like a pretty big step. What? And I really don't know the background here. What is that?
I didn't even know she was pregnant.
You know, there isn't much of a background. I saw the video when everybody else saw it when I woke up.
No one warned you about it.
Nobody warned me about it. It looks like maybe he didn't know he was being recorded. It looks like it was some sort of a private event.
Girl!
On the issue that he was particularly speaking on. And in what was said, I can't respond to it beyond
The
what
set
he's
needs
saying
more
wood.
wood.
It's just
Not
ad
enough
hominem
wood.
attack.
I don't know how blue collar he is unless he has supreme wood.
I don't think she's correct, or maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about.
It's a lot of wood.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah,
They need some bisexual lighting.
And so I can't respond to it on a level of intellect because there's nothing that he has expressed in that, at least in that short clip, that he fundamentally disagrees with in terms of what I said. But I will say that I'm not going to respond with the same ad hominem attacks.
Yes.
I don't think it helps further discussion. And
That's
that
not
was me
Candace-like.
that was caught
No.
saying that about colleagues that I work with. I would be embarrassed. So I think that the video speaks more to Ben's character than it speaks to mine.
Has he texted you to apologize or explain or anything?
No, nothing. I haven't heard a single word. It just was sort of something that he said. And you know what? Ben and I have many disagreements, so I don't think that that's particularly something that's interesting. We disagreed on the COVID vaccine. We disagree on Ukraine and Russia. He has taken virtually every stance that has been the opposite of mine on every issue over the last 5 years. So I don't think that that's particularly remarkable.
Vaccine. Really, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he was pro the COVID vaccine. I was anti the vaccine. You know, we were all idiots for not getting
They're
the vaccine.
so stupid.
So that's really fine. I am totally open to people having a difference in opinion.
Right.
I would hope that amongst colleagues
by the way,
that
can
it would always
you pause it
be
for one quick sec?
civil disagreement.
I want to point out that there's verifiable evidence that the two of them have been vaccinated, which is so fucked up. She was at a massive stadium event that required you to be vaccinated to be able to enter it, and all Fox News staff at a certain point had to be vaccinated. So they are knowingly lying to their audiences that the vaccine is dangerous and going to kill you while they're vaccinated. Like that is like especially fucked up.
And the kids are probably vaccinated too.
Probably. They don't care if their audience like gets sick or dies, as long as it makes money.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the extent of their beef, at least up until this point. I don't know what else is going to take place, but I will just say that I hope they rip each other apart. I want to see them fight. I hope that the infighting grows and increases, and Matt Walsh gets involved, and Michael Knowles. I want them to fight, because when evil people and fascists rip each other apart, that's a win for not just the left, but for humanity. So I love this. Now, what did you say? You had the timestamp, Lance, for the full Nazi comments?
Yeah, I can give you just the one that's already got it isolated. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, just warning everyone. Like, this is like actual fucked up Nazi shit.
It's like Protocols of the Elders of Zion shit. combining white genocide and white great replacement theory, in a single breath and normalizing it. It's really, really messed to see.
All right.
Okay, pulling it in now, and okay.
However, then I thought, well, wait a second. If the biggest donors at, say, Harvard have decided, well, we're going to shut it down now, where were you the last 10 years when they were calling for white genocide? You were allowing this. And then I found myself really hating those people, actually. You're okay with that? On what grounds were you okay with that?
And this is what I've been trying to explain to the pro-Israel lobby, that what you are seeing as lack of support is people that are asking the question is, where were you as we have endured all of this?
You were paying for it, actually.
Right.
You were paying for it.
You were paying for it.
You were calling my children immoral for their skin color. You paid for that.
And
so why shouldn't I be mad at you? I don't understand.
And so that is, obviously you have a ton of white people that are asking this question, and they're now being called anti-Semitic. And I think that that's wrong. I think these are meaningful questions that deserve to be answered. Why was this sort of verbiage allowed into the curriculum? I mean, could you imagine if in the curriculum it said that every Jewish person born is a terrorist?
However,
yeah. So that's why I said that it's not a good idea to claim Candace Owens support for this. She's
telling you why she supports who she supports right there.
Yeah.
It's not because of Palestinians.
I'm not buying it. Okay. I'm just not buying it. From this whole thing, you got Tucker Carlson asking these same dumbass questions that he asked on, how we always see him. He can get anybody to interview, tries to get a story out of nothing. And this is what it's giving. Candace Owens on a good day and a bad day is the same. She's gonna attack whatever. She's gonna make sure that she responds, whether it's race related, political related, culture related, entertainment related. She's always going to have a response. And for her not to have one, saying that he hasn't even contacted me. Speaking of Ben Shapiro, and then saying it doesn't look like he knew he was being recorded, baby. Please. Okay. The whole thing seems like a setup. And again, I know that sometimes, especially in a time where we should be taking stuff serious, the right likes to trump up some stupid stuff, make it a circus as they usually do. Here, let's fight each other so that we can just take attention off of certain things. And that's what I feel like this is. And I don't care for it.
You think it's wrestling? You think it's wrestling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't care for it. She's pregnant as ever. I feel like she should have more of an attitude. She should be just giving us a little bit much more, because on a regular day she does, and she's not. She's sitting here, and Tucker Carlson isn't really. He's like, it's not. It's giving. It's not. I ain't buying it. What they're selling, I can't buy, because I feel like if it was that serious, we would hear more talking points from Candace Owens in this moment about Palestine, about Gaza, about whatever it is that she's that her and Ben Shapiro are for sure in odds over. And
I totally agree with you in that she doesn't actually care about Palestinians.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Binder pretty much just proved that, right? She doesn't even think Palestine is a country.
Sure.
So, she doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
To people in the chat, though, are asking what exactly were they talking about? They're spreading a conspiracy theory that rich, liberal Jewish people control a lot of academia, and that they are directly trying to manipulate the public. I mean, Charlie Kirk has echoed the same anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, where he says that there's rich, powerful Jewish people who control the media, who control the academic institutions, and they have been pushing anti-white identitarian policies and politics on the population, in part to contribute, and this is the part that they added that you would only normally see in Stormfront or 4chan or shit, to contribute towards white genocide. And that's the part where you're just like, holy fuck, like, you don't hear that said by major, media pundits out loud. Like, maybe that's their dinner talk, I don't know, but like that shit is pretty fucking extreme to see just normalized amongst two of the biggest names in conservative media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe Charlie Kirk is my age and he's still running like a youth organization, like for college students. He's 30. I'm like 3 days older than him. Like,
he's 30. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Who is 30?
His forehead
Charlie
stirs,
Kirk,
right?
baby, something in the milk ain't clean because I'm 33. And he's giving us 40 plus. Not to say that anything's wrong with 40, but you see when you nasty in your heart, you age different.
Didn't Chaya Rychik say she was 28?
Yeah. But I think
That
she's like
is-
33, and I'm like, girl, you still look like you're 43.
Yeah, there's no way she's under 40. I refuse to believe that.
See, when you
Photos of her
nasty,
recently?
when you ain't no good,
When you're evil, it ages you.
that's what happens to you.
Yeah.
You lose your edges, your hairline starts in the back. You know, you just your skin starts to fall. You just look old.
Yeah, she's getting a bit of a makeover now. She cut her hair. She's wearing a little bit more makeup. She's kind of changing her clothing because there's that photo of her promoting that USA Today article about her and her terrorism. And I'm like, oh, she's getting some changes. I'm like, pretty soon she's gonna get a little bit of plastic surgery because we all she knows she's not an attractive young lady. So no matter what can you know what? No matter what can fix ugly.
No, when you're nasty, when you're ugly inside, when you're ugly at your heart and your core, okay, baby, it's gonna seep no matter what.
It's gonna come out.
That's why you go get the work done. You see, because you ain't no good. You ain't no good. At 30, you ain't no good. So
Yeah, and I just love how she's tried to kind of like move on, not necessarily move on from Libs of TikTok, but like do more personalized stuff, right? But it's not clicking. She doesn't have the charisma, and people only want to see the transphobia.
Did you? So the other day she was on like a front page article of USA Today that basically was doing a pretty good research. Like I read the whole thing, showing the correlation between so it shows how many times there are bomb threats and death threats to children's hospitals, schools, and teachers, and how many times it happens because of Libs of TikTok's posts. So she puts that as her profile picture, her smiling, and then changes her banner profile picture logo of Libs of TikTok to bombs. So it's now the Libs of TikTok logo, but it's with bombs because it's all a meme. It's all it's all hilarious. Yeah.
Children's lives are being put at risk, and teachers' lives, and she doesn't care.
No, she thinks it's funny.
Yeah, and she also said, I don't remember when she said this. It was a couple of months ago, but she said something to the effect of that the left made up a new term specifically for her, stochastic terrorists, as if
not true.
Stochastic terrorism did not exist.
Yeah.
Before Libs of TikTok.
And why would you want credit for that?
Right.
Like making it mainstream.
Yeah. So another big story from today was the George Santos stuff. I don't know who's more
Santos Claus.
Yeah, who's more well read on this because I have not followed this.
I haven't. I've seen it come up. I read a little bit, just the headline that he's not going to run anymore or whatever. People are against him. They're attacking him. It's a smear campaign.
That's
stuff, pretty much what I see.
The stuff he spent campaign contributions on: Botox, Hermes, OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
I love that. I love that he spent campaign funds on Botox. Like,
for me, it's OnlyFans.
But listen, you could deny the OnlyFans and people don't have proof. If
the OnlyFans sex worker that came out saying that George subscribed.
But you could still deny it though. How are you going to deny the Botox when people say, "Did you spend campaign funds on Botox?" and you go look at them like this and go, "No, no, no," you can't move your face.
Oh yeah,
Christina, what he look like? No, see, but here's the thing. You know, and who would want George Santos to run again? I mean, that was another circus, but here we are, and he, had a moment, tried to deny who he was, went against marginalized people, and then was a part of that marginalized group, and that's so sad that you couldn't even be yourself. Supposedly,
I don't think he's gay.
See, another thing.
Well, the OnlyFans person he was subscribing to was a woman who was doing like OnlyFans work.
She came out. She came out and said, again, this is just, we don't know if he actually really subscribed to this woman in particular. She claims he did. And then she followed up with saying how he sent her his penis to rate. Now, that actually, if that's true, that actually makes sense that's why he'd be subscribed to her. Because I'm sure a gay guy would want to, would also want an opinion from a a sex worker, whether it's a woman or not, about his dick size. That seems completely in the realm
no, in
of
hell he'd submit his real penis, though. It's
Well,
going
so
to
what
be
was
someone
the
else's
rating?
penis.
What was it, like 1 to 10? Did he get like an 8, 7?
She didn't say what she rated him. That's probably confidential information.
I would love to know because the
gonna be Anthony
energy
Weiner.
that he gives is like 0. But what work was George Santos doing?
Exactly.
Just went in there for 5 minutes and caused a ruckus. Okay,
Listen, I think. Listen. If you know George Santos's district, you'll know his constituency very much cares about their congressperson's penis size. So this is very relevant to his campaign. That
the economy, inflation, penis size.
I'm embarrassed for George Santos. But here's the thing, like nobody cares. You're coming out and you're saying there was a smear campaign against you. No, we just wanted to know who you really were because you weren't standing on that. And so now that we had to dig and then we found information out that was extra. And then you're out here saying that it was a smear campaign. No, people just found out who you were. And you weren't, you didn't have the courage. You were a coward and you weren't able to do that, but you had work to do for your constituents and you didn't do that. This is why people put you in office and you didn't do that. As soon as you got in, it's been drama. You just bring drama. You just followed you and you loved it. Cameras in your face. You were that. And now you know that you won't be able to be seated again. You just brought trouble and you weren't serious about it.
He might actually be going into some really hot water. This was an ethics committee investigation that discovered all of this, and the paper trails are vast, and like a lot of it could bring criminal charges. Like it's actually some pretty fucked up shit. So it's more than you won't be running again. You might be going to jail.
Mike, can you play this? Can you play this clip? This is an old clip of George Santos being interviewed on Fox News, and it is very funny because, in retrospect, it's even funnier. Listen to what the host says when George Santos denies even knowing what OnlyFans is. It's very funny. I mean, clearly he knows what OnlyFans is now that we know that he's
yes.
It's very funny. It's a very funny clip, though.
Okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. Pulling it in.
Almost shocked that a Fox, well, it's Fox Business, but still almost shocked that a Fox host would be this be this funny. But go ahead.
Speaking of peel, is it true that you have an OnlyFans page and you can peel a banana with your feet?
I don't have one, and it's I'll indulge you this. I just discovered what OnlyFans was about 3 weeks ago when it was brought up in a discussion in my office.
What do you think?
And I was oblivious to the whole concept.
You just can't tell the truth. All right, so.
You
That was amazing.
You just can't tell the truth. I'm sorry. George Santos is the sweetest pie. I don't know why there is a denial here. Just live in your truth, baby.
No, he's a monster.
Like, what are we talking about here? Just seeing George Santos sit there and be. And maybe
the Congressperson with OnlyFans.
Yeah, maybe the OnlyFans with the woman was like the ploy or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't care, but you're out here fighting for the other side of things and you're living on that other side. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But baby, George Santos, and that's okay, is as sweet as pie. And that's okay. And just like she said, she's like, you just can't tell the truth. You just a lie. And the truth ain't in you. That's why you got to go. Nobody cares that you're not going to go again. Nobody cares. Go and live your life. Please leave us
whatever it is.
Yeah. So
he wants the spotlight.
Someone did make a comment that I do have to agree with. George Santos's misuse of campaign funds has to be the most least harmful misuse of campaign funds we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like in the big picture, he just took care of himself. He just took care of him. Yeah, he treated himself. Which, knowing what some of our Congress people do and support, not the worst thing. Not saying it's fine. Not saying you should get away with it, but could have been worse.
He's the hardest person to hate or stay mad at. Honestly, every single time I'm like, he's a monster. He just took a whole bunch of money that was supposed to be used for a dying dog and stole it. That's fucking one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of. Then he's like, I'm the producer of Spider-Man the musical, and you're like, no, you're not.
I remember Spider-Man the musical.
Lies. Why do you lie so much? And then you're literally supposed to be a leader for your. No, you see, this is why you gotta go. A lot of people gotta go. ago. George Santos is one person that I'm sure his constituents will not miss. I'm pretty sure. So like, get somebody else who is gonna be seated and do some actual work, because all of this is like, it's unnecessary, and it sucks that he gets to be paid and all of this to do nothing. Did nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. As Valanova in my Twitch chat points out, George Santos, be gay, do crime to the max. He is the living embodiment of that be gay, do crime.
Oh yeah.
Although not the best representative.
Right,
I will say.
Supposed to do cool crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
could
like
also
when
not
I
be
think
gay,
about that, Robin Hood type crimes, not like using campaign funds to buy OnlyFans. One thing that makes me a little bit sad about all of these crimes coming out and his lies coming out is that we're all going to end up forgetting at some point that this man on his first day in Congress rolled a booger on his finger and ate it. We cannot let this.
Did he do that? I forgot about that.
That was George Santos. Yeah.
Oh Lord,
I can see if I can find the video. But
people
yeah,
pick boogers every day. George, live in your truth. Okay.
Rebecca's team George now.
Okay. No, like people eat boogers every day. I'm at a red light. I look over. It's a nice binge chuck. Fine man. And then I look over again. That person is eating their boogers, rolling it around, swipes it all over the damn steering wheel, and once the light turns green, never see them again. These are regular people. But George can't live in his truth. He has to make up who he is. Can't be who he is. And there's no reason. There's no reason. What's his stance on Palestine? Does anybody know? Just like anything.
He's pro-Israel. No, he's pro-Israel.
Oh yeah. He's got that one clip where he's like being followed in the halls of Congress or whatever, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's like, "I will never tolerate anti-Semitism here. We must support Israel." Like he just.
Did you see Richie Torres' tweet? He's like about George Santos, like, "I'm gonna be the only proud gay Latino Jew supporting."
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
stupid.
I didn't see that.
So stupid, so
I'll
cringe.
pull it up after this. But yeah, this is George Santos. And by the way, keep in mind, he's sitting next to a literal child who is not doing what he's doing. The child is more well-behaved.
Oh, God. Oh, God. It's happening.
Don't pick it. What are you doing, dude?
Rolling it on the fingers. Oh, this one doesn't show the eating it, but he does roll it on his fingers.
I don't know, man. That kid did very, very obviously disrespectfully yawn without covering his mouth right there.
Is tired, like the rest of us. Okay.
Wait, maybe he didn't. Am I misremembering? Maybe he didn't eat it. Maybe he just rolled it.
You might be thinking of Nick Fuentes.
But look,
someone in the chat just reminded me. George Santos claimed he was Jewish, and when he was called
Jewish.
He said he was Jewish, and then like when he was called out for it because he's not Jewish, he said, "No, I said I was Jewish, like Jew-ish,
like you converted or
like clever, right? Clever with words, but just can't do nothing. No, goodbye, bye.
He's also a Drake performer.
See ya.
Get that too.
He's a what?
This is the
I forgot about that.
Performer.
I thought you said a Drake performer. I was like, what is that?
But probably he probably does that on the weekends too.
Yeah, George Santos, who illegally spent campaign funds on porn sites and Botox, has announced he is no longer seeking re-election. I will be the sole surviving Jewish gay Latino congressman from New York.
So is Latino? Wasn't there like is that confirmed? That George Santos is Latino.
He's Brazilian.
Well, he's from Brazil.
Brazil.
But, there's no way to confirm anything. You can't confirm anything with George Santos.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, shout out to George Santos and goodbye. Like I'm sick of it. Ain't nothing there.
Honestly though, think I prefer George Santos to Richie Torres.
Honestly,
yeah, same.
Yeah, he's not. Listen, as bad as he is. The situation is so bad that he's not the most harmful politician. He's not doing as much harm as others. Like, I think that he is objectively less harmful than, like, say, Marjorie Greene, for example, who spreads, like, disgusting transphobia. And that's sad. Like, an actual pathological liar and criminal is less harmful than some other members of Congress who aren't criminals, presumably. It's just, the situation is very bad.
I just think it's funny that he like lies about like his race, and that's like me. Like my sister did it like a 23andMe, and she's like, we're like 69% German, nice, 30% Irish, and then like 1% Arabia Peninsula, and I'm like, that's like me saying I'm half Arabian. I'm Arabian. I don't look anywhere like that. And so like with George Santos constantly lying, it's like, is he Greek? Is he actually Italian?
Yeah, they gave him 0.5% Greek, and he was like, yeah, I'm that. And they gave me 0.3% black. Like, I'm African American. Okay. This is what George Santos is going to go with anything, and then have some kind of truth that is literally like, come on, it's logistics. You're not that. Let's like be real. And that's what George Santos always gave, and always made sure that the headline that was about him was going to be real messy. Because that's the kind of person that George Santos is, just a messy bee. Like that's what George Santos is. Just get out of here. Go and be, go be in drag. Go live your full life. Like, that's what you want to be. Like, I don't know why you're wearing these blue collars, like these collared shirts with these vests and that's not who you are. Go ahead. You could sing too. Hit the mic. Do something with your life. Just not this. You're not. I don't think you should be serving people or be leading people when that's not where your heart is.
I mean, as far as we do know, though, his true self is just straight up scammer. So I mean, he's gonna go off and do. He's gonna go off and scam some more. Yeah, that is who he is. Yeah.
He's living his truth.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen, if we can just pivot to this story because it's fresh. I know it's entertainment related, but
I'm all about that.
And I say I like to stay out of lately celebrity business, but this is hot, hot off the press.
I think I know.
Sean Combs, P. Diddy.
Oh, right.
Now Love.
I have no idea what you're about to talk about. I have no idea what you're about to talk about.
Yeah,
but I'm completely.
I know exactly what she's going to talk about.
Yeah. Sean Combs is accused of Cassie of rape and years of abuse in a lawsuit that dropped just a few hours ago.
Wait, by who?
By Cassie.
His ex Cassie.
I don't know who that is.
Waiting so long.
Yeah, she's an R&B singer. And I saw her when she had just broke out on the scene. She came to Portland, and I saw her show.
Time.
She was
great.
A baby. Yeah,
like, she's been with she was with Diddy for I think all of her 20s, and then broke free, and we don't even know why. It was just a breakup, and that was that. And she then immediately, not long after, got married to, I believe, a billionaire. Okay, I just want to add that there before I get into the story. Alex Fine, and then got married, had 2 children, living a completely different life than what we knew her to have with Diddy, where she was in the shadows. We didn't see a lot of her. She was just next to him, just there. And I know that she was signed under him, but in the suit filed in federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, says that not long after she met Diddy, when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that including plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes. While he filmed the encounters. 2018, the suit says
this gets worse.
Near the end of their relationship, he forced his way into her home and he raped her. Now, Diddy's people say that she wants $30 million because she wanted to write a damaging book about their relationship, which, quote, was unequivocally rejected, and it was like blatant blackmail. Now, he did offer to pay her up to 8 figures. She didn't take that. And now on Today, she just came out and dropped this suit. Now, this suit also talks about like details about her taking drugs because he wanted to have like these sexual encounters in different hotels, luxurious hotels where he had her, having sex with escorts, and she would take the drugs just to be out, like just not to feel anything. She dated, the suit also mentions Kid Cudi, where she was dating him briefly, and where he threatened their relationship, threatened to blow up his car, and in his driveway he the car blew up during their relationship.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and he confirmed it too.
Everybody did confirm. And then she talked about how he did beat her one time just for talking to I think a talent agent or something, and he beat her, pushed her into the car, kicked her in the face multiple times, then had his crew take her to the hotel and for her to just chill out for a second, recuperate. And when she asked to go see her parents, he told her that she couldn't. And so these are all in, like, all of this is in the suit. And of course, all Diddy people just said that it isn't true. Offered her 8 figures. She didn't take it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like she's dating like a billionaire. She's happy. I don't think 30 mil.
She don't need that money.
That's literally like nothing to a giant. She's living a completely different life. I don't think it's about the money for her. I think it's actually about her now having a voice. I also think with hot off the press with Keke Palmer and her domestic abuse situation going, pretty much viral, going live, and her being such a quiet person and now just like taking control of her life and her child and that kind of thing. I think maybe Cassie saw that and was like, yeah, no, see, I was trying to do this in the dark and you try to offer me 8 figures. No, Diddy needs to be seen as the person that he is. I had a decade plus of my life taken away from me, and I don't care what this is going to cost, but this needs to come out. It's not a book. It's a lawsuit. So
it's, to me, we're seeing more women of color like in the industry coming forward, and at first, a lot of people were doubting Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, no, it's clear that she was shot at. It's clear as day. There are witnesses, evidence, you name it.
Yeah,
and look what happened. We're slowly the tides are turning.
Going after her for that.
Yeah, and people just chose not to believe it. She and it affected her career. You see how in 2020, I mean, she had a remix with Beyonce. We were all doing the dances on TikTok. We were all a savage, and before that, we were all just trying to twerk like Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion brought a different type of vibe and appreciation for being sexual, but just like it was nice and being a rapper and a woman in the music industry at that. And then her coupled up with what's his name again? What the man that shot her? I forget.
Oh, Tory Lanez.
Her coupled up with him. We were all confused, but that's their business. But then, when the whole situation happened, she wanted to protect him. A lot of times in abusive situations, we, as women, want to protect our partner. And for whatever the reason may be, out of fear or out of just still trying to love them, whatever you may be going through in that moment. And then when she told her story, no one believed her. She still tried to move on and not talk about it. And people still sabotage.
Random musical artists started talking shit about her. And then saying that she was doing for fame.
They started saying, he's going to come forward. The truth will be out. A lot of musical artists that we respect were like on Tory Lanez's side.
It's like the R. Kelly thing. Like for years, we made jokes about what he would do.
Yeah.
Like the P tape and all that came that came out. We made jokes, but it wasn't until it took over 10 years for something to happen to him. And I'm pissed that Aaliyah is not here and he's still here.
To tell her truth.
Yeah. And he's just going to be in prison for the rest of his life.
Rebecca, do you know anything about this? I just Googled Diddy and assault rumors, and some of the first stories that popped up was that he may have molested Usher.
So
what?
Usher, and that came up because Usher had an interview where he stated, and this was a clip that went viral a few months back. Usher had an interview where he stated that, I think he was young. I think he was about 13 or just, in his early years in the music business. And he was invited over to to Diddy's home, Puff Daddy at the time. He was invited over to the home. I believe it's somewhere in the 90s. And there were women everywhere. He said it was like, just a sex party. Just women everywhere. And the interviewer, I believe, if I remember correctly, asked him, like, you didn't do nothing with the woman, did you? He said, I never said that. But, Diddy was just showing me around. Like, this was just like bringing me around. It was a lot of women. I thought I was there for one reason, and it was just this other thing. And a lot of people were saying, hey, now that's you know, sex, like you can't bring a child into that environment and then put a child on a grown woman, you know, that's not right. So that's when that conversation started happening on social media. So
wow.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I didn't know the extent of it. I only saw the headlines, but that's way worse.
And so Diddy ain't only nasty for hurting the band, for trying to create false dreams with all of these people.
And Danity Kane, breaking them apart.
And the band Fatty Cool, we can take it way back. And so he ain't only nasty for that, taking people's credits away and then trying to make it seem like he was doing the right thing by giving them the rights back to their music. B5, even though they had that one remix to that one song that wasn't even theirs, but they didn't get anything. So the smaller groups didn't get much. But Diddy is known for doing this type of stuff. And as much as I love Diddy for the culture in that way, no, but we got to call a thing a thing. I don't care, black, blue, purple, in between. We should be able to call a thing because this stuff is happening to a lot of people in the music or in the industry. And Diddy shouldn't get away with that. If this is something that indeed happened, then there was another instance, because I read the whole thing. There was another instance that Cassie talked about where she said she was in a hotel with him. I believe it was the instance where he raped her, and she was saying no multiple times. He fell asleep. She got up, tried to get away. He woke up at the time, ran down the hallway of the hotel, threw I think a vase that was in the hallway at her, and it broke in the corridor. And the hotel he allegedly paid $50,000 to take the footage of. She deleted a lot of the videos that he had her record in her phone about the sexual instances that they had. And she stated in this suit that on the jet, he made her watch the video and told her, you can delete them, but I still have access to these things, and made her watch it. So these are things that she stated. They're nasty. They're disgusting. What he did allegedly to Shine as well, when there was that gun case, and he had his artist Shine take that hit and be in jail for most of his adult life.
Is that confirmed? I heard that was a rumor.
It was a rumor. Now, we ain't seen Shine since until just recently, right? And Shine, I think, is from Belize and was able to run for office there, but can't live here, you know, was sent off. So this is like those kind of things. A lot of the people that Diddy has partnered with at some point in time has complained about his behavior. And just because you change your name to Love and you go to church at the Potter's house, okay, with TD Jakes, and TD Jakes is showing up at your parties, I don't give a damn. It don't make you no less good, more of good of a person. If you did those things, and if there's one person, 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, okay, mad people that's speaking against your character and saying that you did things that are questionable. And Cassie said this. She said that she was afraid that at some point in time, because of Diddy's actions in the relationship and to the people that she's loved, i.e. Kid Cudi having his car blown up in the driveway, allegedly, even though Kid Cudi
I still can't get over that one. I still don't buy that goes beyond. That's like that's assassin shit. That's not even like I mean, we're used to hearing about people doing terrible things, but exploding cars.
And a lot of women like are in the industry and have to go up against these powerful men or powerful people, which you may go through something with them and they can threaten you. And people are like, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? Because this person literally is so powerful and can make things go away and make me look like the crazy person. And so I know that he's in a relationship or a situationship or whatever, because I know Carisha said at one point that she go with him real bad. And that's her man. But if that's the case, I feel like he keeps taking the women, and we can all agree that Diddy is known for taking women in their 20s and literally taking them at this young age and taking their lives, like just being with them and just taking their lives from them. And I look at Carisha and I'm like, Carisha, who was Young Miami from the group City Girls, who he's dating. And I'm like, damn, like I don't I don't want that to be a thing for her, but he goes in and he acts like he's a savior. There's a savior complex there. I'm going to go in and take your career. Cassie was at the height of her career with the one song, and then she had that album come out. At the time, she was partnered with Ryan Leslie, who was super producer. And then we see her with Diddy, who she signed with and dropped an album under him. And we never seen any music come out of that after that.
Every time.
And so then you have Carisha, who we know as, again, a half of the group City Girls. And, she was a rapper. And now we see when she got with him, a lot of the music being with Diddy. And there's a show on Revolt TV that is Carisha's show. What is it called? Whatever it's called. But she has a podcast that won awards against, I feel like, other podcasts that make more sense. But because she's with Diddy, there's a power there where she can just come up in this moment. And I feel like the moment that she probably leaves him, I went to the Revolt thing with Olay, and I see, she's coming out, and we know, like, okay, Carisha's coming out, Young Miami's coming out, it's a Diddy thing. A lot of Diddy's things is like with her, but there's nothing I feel like that's separated with just her. And it looks like he just takes control. And again, that's my opinion. But in this suit that's coming out, I think, like you said, Christina, a lot of women of color are feeling like they have a voice now to speak up. It sucks that when it's the people that we are loving, right? Oh, we love Diddy for whatever reason, but does that mean that we shouldn't believe this woman because it's Diddy?
Well, even before Carisha, Don Richards basically played that same role. Remember, with Dirty Money, and like, even if you just go back to like the Making the Band, like season, I think it was like 3, the way that he would degrade the women there too. Like he would tell them that he would tell D Woods, "Hey, you look really thick." Just talk shit about them. This is the most believable thing ever. Like, I wouldn't have expected blowing up cars shit, but like you could. There's so much there. Like, as you said, everybody he's worked with has spoken out. Not just the women, Mace. Like, if everybody has spoken out against you, I think it's probably you and not them.
Yeah, it's a scary place to be as a woman in the industry. I think back then, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, I think now women are starting to speak up a little bit more about who they've partnered with, and it might be our favorite person in the industry who may be popular again or for whatever. I feel like if J-Lo would have a story about her time with him, there would be something there as well.
That club shootout
too. But I feel like there would be a story there. I think what I'm trying to get at is like domestic abuse. A lot of these celebrities are getting away with it, whether you are in the industry, in the music industry, as an actor,
it's notorious in every
producers,
directors, getting away with
it. Even comedy. Look at Louis C.K. It was the same thing. No one could speak up about Louis C.K. because they were worried they'd get blackballed from the industry forever. Like you'd never be able to work again as a woman.
Yeah. Then see, people are afraid. And then people say, like, again, the questions arise. Why did you stay? Why were you still there? And again, it could be sometimes we get mentally out of our head too. I just love this person, or I am scared of this person, or I know how powerful this person can be.
Just want to protect them.
Yes. And she said, I was afraid because of what I seen that this person can do, that this person will go after my family. And like, this is not to be taken lightly. And I know people laughed about this with Meg the Stallion when they asked like what was said when she was shot or whatever the case may be. That psychopath, Tory Lanez, was like telling her, "Dance, bitch, dance."
Yeah.
As he was shooting at her. Wow. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, these are psychos. These are crazy people who will take on a character and like feel like their power is so big and put you in that world. She didn't expect that. She said she did not expect. She would never think that it would have gone that way with Tory. And so, but people dragged her. Her career shifted. Nobody was posting her as much. They posted Tory Lanez more on what is a site that's supposed to be for the culture. We saw less of Meg the Stallion, more of Tory Lanez on the Shade Room. Like, let's be real. Like, let's be real. You see, women, especially women of color, specifically Black women, their voices are unheard. And in this moment, this Black man, I feel like people are going to be like, if everybody trying to they're trying to get money out of Diddy. It's not that. This woman is married to a billionaire. She can live her life as what she wants to. She's married. She has kids. Like, she's doing good. Okay. So it's not about the money, because if it was, I bet you that book would have been dropped. And in that suit, it says that she was offered 8 figures. And she didn't take it. So there's a story to be told here. And I think
Did you see that? I know he's not in the news as much anymore, but he popped up today because he interviewed Alex Jones. But Russell Brand, another woman just came forward to say that he sexually assaulted her on the set of Arthur. I think that brings it to what, like 6 direct accusations now. Not that that's going to change anything. Everyone has been defending him because, you know, the deep state came for him or whatever.
Become a right-wing grifter and people will protect you.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, Diddy. just start talking about the deep state and
Diddy went to Jesus. Diddy went to Jesus. You see what you do? You see, Diddy went to Jesus. Diddy changed his name to love. God is considered love, right? In Christianity, the Bible says that God is love. All of a sudden, Diddy wants to be God complex. Diddy wants to be God. Diddy started going to church. He went to one of the biggest Black churches. Now, mind you, love me some TD Jakes' daughter. Sarah Jakes, great. Love to listen to her when I go on a good run, whatever the case may be. But it ain't feel right to me when Diddy is out here doing women wrong, and just to have TD Jakes at your party, it just don't sit right to me. See, power, this is what power does. Has somebody preach about, hey, don't be in the club all day, you know, get in your Bible, get in your word, but be right there at Diddy's party. And see, it don't sit right to me. Power, this is what power does. And you see, when you just are in a certain position, I don't care. Diddy can change his name a million times. He can try to change his persona or whatever. What you did to people, now you want to be, when Diddy got to Jesus, everybody was like, see, Diddy loves the Lord, and we know Black people in the Black church. It's a big thing for us. And so when Diddy attached himself to that, started coming online and saying, we just want to spread love. God is love. I'm going to church now. I'm changing my life. But we're still doing all the things that are not church-like, and people were still making excuses for him. You see, this is where I just don't. This is how I know the world is fickle and social media is a fickle place. I hope in this moment, people at least hear Cassie out and wait for the more of the news to develop and see what happens with that, instead of just writing her off like we've seen what happened with Meg Thee Stallion and all the women that spoke up against R. Kelly.
You can already anticipate the attacks, because I didn't know about his new arc of loving Jesus. Like, the attacks are going to be, see, this is happening all now when he finds God. This is the devil. This is spiritual warfare. Like, you can just anticipate
the devil
it.
is working against me. The devil is busy.
Yeah. God. There's always some out for these people with power and wealth. God, I hate it.
The most random thing happened at, like, this grocery store I go to called Publix. And this woman comes in and she's like, everyone, I have an announcement. And I'm like, oh, did someone win the lottery? Is this a raffle for Publix? What's going on? And she's talking about, like, Jesus loves us and Jesus will forgive us for our sins and all this stuff for like 2 minutes. And everyone's like trying to, you know, bag stuff. And these baggers and cashiers, and everyone's like, what? Like,
yeah. We see that all the time. Like, I love Jesus. I tell you all the time. I might be in the streets, but I love me some Jesus, okay? And it might not look like the way that everybody else has it, but I be in the church.
You're a normal person and a good person. That's why it's not like you're not using that to become a psychopath. You're just normal. Sorry.
And pushing it on.
I be in the church like, that's a little culty. A lot of things is word here, but I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? That's, you know, I be in the church saying the same thing, but here's my thing. Like, you know, we'll see people utilize Christianity like we see with the right all the time. We see evangelists, how Ben calls them evil evangelists, however he says it. But we'll see them do this, take Jesus, take the Bible, take it and use it and weaponize it. And then, like, people will think that you're such a good person. You're not a good person just because you're saying the name Jesus. Like, you're not even following any of that. Like, I don't care what it is. It could be something outside of Christianity. If you're a bad person and you're a Buddhist, I don't give a damn. You could do whatever you do. You're just a bad person. And like, Diddy has caused, we watched this as children. We watch this on television, how he will build up people to just break them down. Don has
Ignite was right.
Don from Danity Kane has posted, and to be behind Cassie as well as what's the other one's name? Aubrey
O'Day. Oh, okay.
She came behind this. Well, she said, "I told y'all. I've been telling y'all." A lot of people didn't listen to her when she came out and said he's tried to come at me sexually, and because I didn't accept his sexual advances, he told me my career was over. And a lot of people didn't believe it. They were saying you're a broke bitch and you can't get you're just talking whatever. And this is what people do all the time with women. Like I said, particularly women of color, but women, we just get the low ball all the time. And so with people like with Diddy, who just can come out and just Diddy bop his way out of this one. I feel he can't do that now, especially with all the women that are speaking up. Kiki's situation is highlighted with the abuse that she gone through, and that situation is underway. And I think Cassie is not gonna be the last woman that we see speak up against Diddy, and Cassie won't be the last woman that we see speak up against the people that we look up to musically, or our favorite actors, our favorite athletes. It's not going to be the last time. So,
fun fact about Aubrey O'Day: did you know that she used to date Donald Trump Jr.?
Oh yeah.
No. She was on The Apprentice. Apprentice. I couldn't say that word for some reason. When Donald Trump was still hosting it, and he had an affair with her when he was still married to his first wife, and she actually made a song about him called DJT.
Not in the T.
Yeah.
DJT.
I don't know shit about celebrities, but the things that I do know, I know really well.
I know way too much about celebrities.
Yeah.
DJJ, Donald Trump Jr. or DJT?
His initials. So Donald J. Trump. Yeah, so DJT. Yeah, I had to think for a second. Yeah.
DJT.
You know what's interesting is that on Movie Night Extravaganza, we went over Priscilla, the movie about Priscilla Presley's relationship and eventual marriage to Elvis Presley. And I know a lot about that relationship because she was 14, he was 24 when they first met. He was very controlling, manipulative, controlled the way she looked, her hair, her makeup, how she dressed, still had affairs with other co-stars of his because he was doing films at the time. And if she would question, he would throw a fit, threaten to take her back to her parents. But then 2 seconds later, he's like, "Where are you going? You're staying here." That
was a kid.
I wish she would admit that she was groomed. But she won't admit. She was like, "He's volatile. He had a temper." And I'm like, "But he threw stuff at you."
She was a baby, and this is my problem with that. A lot of people, I feel like
it was normal back then.
R. Kelly was a musical genius. Okay, I know every R. Kelly track. We two-stepped at the BBQs. That was just a thing. R. Kelly, we've heard his influence on a lot of songs because he wrote them for white, black, in between, everybody. Okay, country, all kinds of songs. Okay, but R. Kelly dated little girls and was sexually assaulting little girls, was raping little. This is what we need to understand. Elvis, who was not of my time, but somebody that we praised for years.
I always hated
Elvis. A lot of black
I've always thought he was a
music.
wanker.
But Elvis
and his music is
with
shit.
that baby.
I said that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's problematic. Teenage girl. Why are people still it was back in the day? Okay, but we can still call a thing a thing. People are afraid to do so. If we just say that's okay and then it happens again, and then people be like, "Well, Elvis did it," and it's just it's just
rock stars and
that's what happens in the industry. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
No, it's not. It's just fucked. It sucks. Every single one of your heroes eventually turns out to be a massive creep and fucking
literally all of my heroes,
my
favorite, all the rappers that I grew up with when I was a teenager are either Nazis or in jail.
or woman beaters. Same thing. Same every genre. It doesn't matter. David Bowie turns out had sex with a 13-year-old. What Led Zeppelin guys had sex with a 13-year-old. It sucks.
The takeaway is, as you get older, I think you're gonna realize you can't have heroes, or if you have, heroes, then understand that they might disappoint you.
They're very, very flawed.
Like literally all of my heroes, I Yeah, as Smegley says in there, all of Mike's heroes. Yeah, I went down the list before, like all of them. Like, I'll say this again, it's not something that I like to share, but my number one, like, I worshipped Kanye West as a teenager. Like, he was my all-time favorite. And then, yeah, and now he's a Nazi, and now I can't even listen to his music without like feeling.
But he's not a pedophile. He's not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
As far as we know, yes.
and I was listening to I missed the old Kanye, but I was listening to old Kanye while I was cleaning up, and I'm like, dang, listen to the bars. He can't even give us that anymore. Kanye can't. He jumped on the track with Cardi.
Pablo sucks.
A year ago, and we thought that track was going to do something, but even that didn't do a thing because people still remembered Kanye. You said slavery was you said slavery was a choice.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You just can't like put that aside and listen to him. Like it's just you can't. Once you say something like that, I feel like that's just what you become known for now. Like,
not even the right that he was catering to listened to his music, and they didn't make that thing go. They didn't do anything, and we were in the middle of a pandemic. Homie was at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, staying there. People was sick. COVID was a thing, and they was in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for Kanye West. Where is that group of people? Things are just for the moment. Kanye didn't really have a fan base that was true, like back in the day. And so now, where is Kanye's fan base? Because he dropped out of the race, the presidential race, because you would think that fan base that was so big at that time was going to show up for him. The right was going to show up for him.
Right.
There was nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing
Yeah,
there.
they don't like your music. They don't like rap people music. They think
can't
that it's like
relate to you.
degenerate and satanic. Like, so that they like you to the extent that you're willing to like do their bidding and praise Trump. But that's the extent of the usefulness. They're not going to be genuine fans of fucking rap music. Like, they've never heard your songs. Like, they can't name a single one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a miscalculation.
Yeah, it was just because he stated that, he was for Donald Trump. He was with the Make America Great Again, and he talked ill about Black people. I remember when he said slavery was a choice. He never took that back. But when he spoke against Jewish people, maybe he rode that right. He circled the block. No, he spent the block, 2 wheels in the air when he spoke against the Jewish people. Okay, see, it was problematic, but he never came back and said anything about Black folks. So a lot of Black people wouldn't. We try to be like, Kanye, come back home real quick. And it didn't work out. So many times he said other things against the Black community, which was very harmful. And to be a Black representation in that space, and I don't care if you're on the right, left, to be a Black representation, you just weren't doing a good job at all. Like there was no, you had to go. And so our greats will let us down, but we can't let, because there are greats, cause us to put blinders on when they do something that's really bad and that they should be reprimanded for. We can't put blinders on for that. I would love to, because man, you think I wanted to stop listening to R. Kelly? I didn't, but now I can't, and I know that my comment section is saying like separate the artist from what he did. And I was able to do that for some time until I started thinking of myself as some of these people. Like, what if that was me?
Yeah.
What if that was me? What if that was my daughter, my niece, whatever? What if that was my mom? Like, what? No, this ain't right. And the more that we say okay to this, the more there will be a lot of untold stories. This is why that campaign had come out from, what was it called? Look, because I can't even remember. For women, not believe women. What was it called? Because we don't need to say no more. Me Too. Okay. That was made by Tarana Burke, a Black woman. And it didn't go viral until a white woman put it out there, Me Too. And she made that in what they believe 2008 about her story of rape. Like, Me Too. This was Me Too. This was my story. This is what happened to me. And we listen, I think at this moment in time, we're in 2023. We're about to be in 2024. We got to do something different. When these women come out and say these things and have a story, a real story about it, and are willing to just bear it all. I mean, she didn't have to say anything. She's been living a new life, a beautiful life. She didn't have to say anything. So we gotta go beyond not believing the woman. We gotta, there's something there. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's by the way, women and men. I should add. One of the people prominently in Me Too, was. Oh, hi Chico. Sorry, my dog just got home.
Chico.
Hi, Dad.
One of the things that gets forgotten too is that there is the sexual assault of men and young boys, and the same atmosphere that is created from the whole like don't believe all victims or they're just doing it for clout or stuff like that also contributes to men being unable to come out, because there also is a vilification of dudes just because like you're seen as like weaker, or there's no such thing as men getting abused or molested or stuff like that, which is also in its own way fucked, because like you can have someone like Terry Crews who just like he's a stunningly muscular and handsome man. And everyone was saying when he came out and said that, I was sexually assaulted, they're like, how come, buddy, come on, like you're huge. How in the world did that happen? It's like, because it's about power and fear. And like, he just froze up in the moment where like someone was taking advantage of him. And that's horrifying.
Yeah. Or like the double standard when it comes to teacher-student relationships, if it was a male teacher and a female student,
God, that's the worst.
But then when it comes to like a male student and a female teacher, they're like, yeah, get that pussy. That's what's up. Yeah, and I'm like, no, that's kind of gross. It's still
right. But you're that all the time. The
like
same ones who call like queer
alleged-
people groomers.
What happened allegedly with Usher going
Jake Shields
to Diddy's party, right? At that young age, you're going in there and they're like, and Diddy, Usher was saying it like, yeah, I mean, I didn't say I didn't do nothing with the woman, but baby, you was the baby. Why were you at that party? Why was Diddy not protecting you? Where were the grown-ups? You see, and young men, they're told, they're never, like, it's not for them to say, hey, I was touched and I don't know if that was okay. I had a friend of mine post today, actually, on Instagram. As a man, we're never taught to really understand that I was touched as a kid. We're taught to say like, oh, okay, yeah, I had her. I had your mama. I had the babysitter. I had this, but I was uncomfortable. My virginity was taken. My innocence was taken, and that was my first time.
Other dudes will make fun of you. It's fucked up.
Wasn't
They'll be
my
like, "What
choice.
are you gay, bro? Well, what the fuck, bro?" Shit like that, and you're like, "Well, what the hell?" Like, that's
why didn't you like it? Why didn't you? All those things come up because society is trash, and society's logic for young men is that you got some coochie, so you good to go. Like, oh, maybe that was your first time.
Take it like a man.
Yeah. So yeah, for men too, Lance. For men too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry for my rant, but I wanted to go ahead and get that because when I read that,
no, that was a great.
I
I think that was a great conversation.
I was like, I'm hoping people over this because I was reading up on it as well.
Yeah. No, I haven't been able to follow the story. I just saw the headline. So yeah, that's fucking wild.
That's like we now need a Matt Binder rant.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask Binder.
Past 10 o'clock. Matt, it's your time. You have the floor, baby. Like
I was listening, and because I was unfamiliar with the situation as a whole, and then I don't think I even am familiar with who Cassie is. Honestly, I'm that out of the loop here.
You know the song. You know the song.
What song?
I've been waiting so long. I don't
think I know the song.
It doesn't ring a bell, baby. You in your 30s, you can't. You know it. you know the song.
It's been in like movies and stuff. If you heard it, you'd probably be like, "Oh, okay, I recognize it."
Rebecca, can you sing a little bit more for me?
No.
Did Rebecca just freeze?
I think so.
Just smile though. That's a good freeze frame. Sometimes you get frozen like in the. And then it's like, oh god.
That's a really good one. I was going to ask Matt about this because Matt has been trying to debunk Hollywood conspiracy theories, and then a fucking article in Tablet Magazine posted one. And I was hoping that you could.
If we're debunking this, could we also go over that ridiculous footage that came out yesterday that got deleted? Of the hospital underground bunkers that we've heard so much about that didn't turn out to be quite as extensive as advertised.
Yeah, the story. Didn't Netanyahu also say something? I forgot what he said specifically, but like they made a claim that was wrong, and then they're making a new claim. The whole situation, what a clusterfuck. And on top of all of that, there was the DNC headquarters protest with all the lies about them. I have a video coming out about that tomorrow as well. But yeah.
It's very violent.
It was fucking horrifying.
I mean, it was violent from the cops.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you all saw this, but this is what my video is about tomorrow. Brad Sherman, who called them pro-terrorist protesters on Twitter, was on Fox News, and the Fox host, Harris Faulkner, was like, I'm so glad you're safe. Are you okay? Like, bro, they were literally chanting, which side are you on?
Candlelight vigil. It was a candlelight
it was a candlelight.
It was a goddamn candlelight vigil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
I mean,
wild
listen,
to me.
when you're a Democrat and you got to run to Fox News to spread your version of events. I mean, it says a lot, doesn't it? What is a Democrat doing on Fox News saying this sort of stuff?
About his own constituents, by the way.
Did CNN and MSNBC not? They weren't even interested in this.
CNN did cover it as well. Abby Phillips interviewed him.
Oh, she's been on this.
I was cleaning a house today, and the customer had Newsmax on.
Oh God! You should have spit in like something or farted in their cabinet.
Supporters, and then of course they say thing. They praise going woke because of transgender, non-binary characters, and I'm like, name them because I don't know what you're talking about.
God.
It's a completely different world, even worse than Fox News, and that's saying something.
Yeah, Newsmax is intense.
Yeah.
On steroids.
God, that's if I saw that in somebody's house. Ooh, sorry, go ahead.
Should we start with the first rally just to dunk on it a little bit, because that was also pretty wild.
Right,
probably a good preface to the one that took place.
Pro-war rally.
Matt, do you want to explain it? The pro, well, no, the
genocide rally.
Yeah,
March for genocide.
Oh, the March for Israel. Oh yeah, that was what, Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. Yeah.
They didn't think that one through.
They had 800 million people there. Did you hear?
Yeah, it was the largest rally in human history. Yeah,
right.
Incredible.
It was
For
very
Israel?
big
To them.
Yeah.
They're claiming. You want to pull the photo up, Mike, of the overhead shot?
They're claiming what, 290,000
They're claiming
people?
290,000 people.
That's like 25K at best.
Which listen, you don't have to be a pro Palestine or pro Israel. You could throw any of your beliefs out the window for this one. You don't need to have any position at all on this to look at this photo and know that you're even being generous if you just say less than 100K. Because we're looking at like what max, like I don't know,
50K at least,
50, 60K.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, it's very clearly not 290,000 to say the very least.
DC
Demi
was
Lovato
packed for the
fan on
Palestine
Twitter
one.
has the photo I'm looking for.
I mean, this is Trump's inauguration all over again. Pull up the first photo.
Look at
go
that.
to the first one. No, right here is obviously the March for Israel. This is what this is. Go to the March for Israel one.
Why
like this
not
is
playing?
like. This is not 290,000 people. I'm sorry. We know because based on other other rallies over the decades, and the number of attendees for those events, we know this is not 290,000. I mean, it's silly to even harp on this because it's just like so obviously not accurate.
Yeah, I mean it was a big crowd, but not 200,000.
Oh yeah, listen, you could say it was a large crowd. I don't know why they have to lie about the exact number because it's just not necessary.
Also, my cat Frankie wanted to say hey.
Oh, hi, kitty.
He loves being on stream. He loves the camera. He kept bugging me, and I'm like, fine, you can
He
be on
looks
camera.
sleepy.
Oh yeah, I can hold him like this, and he'll fall asleep, and he just wants to lay in my lap.
Oh, I love kitties.
14 years old, by the way.
Wow.
Oh.
He's an old man. That's
You've had him
sweet.
for 14 years?
Yep, he's gonna be 15 in January.
Aww.
Oh my
That's
God.
good. That's your best friend.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cute.
He even said bullshit on the crowd.
Right.
Yeah, I think that Brad Sherman put it best as to why they lied. Like, he didn't address this, but he said that the pro-terrorist protesters at the DNC headquarters, they wanted to make this stand because they, and I'm paraphrasing what he said. I have the video that you could watch tomorrow on my channel, that they wanted to make their voices heard after seeing all these voices that came out for Israel. Now, the people in attendance here includes Democratic Party leaders like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, as well as Republican Speaker Mike Johnson, as well as actual anti-Semite John Hagee, who said things so terribly anti-Semitic that in 2008, John McCain rejected his endorsement. But guess who was there? John McCain's daughter, Meghan McCain, with her friend Tulsi Gabbard, known anti-war candidate. Like, it was a fucking clown show. Like, John Hagee is somebody who actually... Yeah, Chuck Schumer, Joni Ernst, John Hagee is somebody who said God sent Hitler. God sent Hitler, and that the Jews were responsible for the Holocaust because of their disobedience to God. And as he's speaking, like the platform said, stop anti-Semitism, support Israel. It's like, am I living in the fucking Twilight Zone? What are we doing?
He also said
here?
the Antichrist is a
Hakeem
half homosexual, half Jewish person.
Yeah.
Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer holding hands with our new Speaker of the House and Mike Johnson and Joni Ernst, right? Holding their hands up in the air.
The only thing that's
also a horrifying
is
bigot,
the
by the
support of
way.
Israel.
Right.
Yeah, they're horrifying avowed bigots who say the worst fucking shit all day. Why put them on the podium? Why make them keynote speakers? You know.
I mean, but to go back to what Rep. Sherman said, I mean, we've seen pro-Palestine rallies all over the globe that make the March on Israel look like a tiny basement show. I mean, the idea that was why that had anything to do with that is ludicrous. But also, I've seen this. I don't know if Sherman said this, but I've seen this line trotted out. How there was no violence at the Israel March for Israel, and no cops had to show up or anything, and they had a permit and things like this, and it was all perfect and like. Well, yeah, because it's the march for the status quo. Of course, you're not gonna have problems there. You have literal Congress people speaking at this event. What are you guys going to be angry about? You're getting exactly what you want. You're chanting no ceasefire, and guess what? We're continuing to fund and back the bombing of Gaza. Over, I believe the current number is over 11, maybe even 12,000 Palestinians dead. Almost half of that being children. I mean, yeah. Why would there be any violence at this event? You guys are. It was a rally, not a protest. What are you protesting against? You're getting everything you want.
Structures of power.
Yeah, the cops aren't going to go there and be violent and disrupt it and break it apart as they did the one at the DNC headquarters. So that's why it was peaceful. But they can say that they were peaceful, but yet their signs were not peaceful and they were not calling for peace. They were chanting no ceasefire.
Did you guys see that Medea Benjamin video?
Oh,
I put it in the link. It's in the chat.
Can we play it or will we get in trouble? Because
we
it's
can
the language is pretty.
We might get demonetized, but we do anyway. So I'm fine with playing it.
Let's play. This is really disturbing.
So there's language in there. So viewer discretion is advised for the language.
Yes, very, very harsh language.
Also, Matthew Iglesias is like, the left is using civil disobedience as an excuse to get more violent. And I'm like, shut up.
I mean, civil disobedience.
Civil
disobedience is literally civil disobedience. Like you could get arrested.
Right.
Like that's part of the whole thing. Like that's is what it is.
Yeah, so just warning everyone, they're going to talk about rape and stuff. Like it's just trigger warning.
This video was just
so to give some context, if you don't know, Medea Benjamin of Code Pink, she attended the March for Israel, and she basically, I mean, I don't know the entirety of what she did there, but in this video, she's just standing there holding a sign that says Jews for ceasefire now. And this is the reaction she gets for just holding that sign there at the event.
I wish they will rape you alive. They will film you.
Why don't you get kidnapped by them in Gaza and see if people come and save you? Because we should have a ceasefire and negotiate with terrorists. They're just going to say, oh, you stop bombing us, we'll stop bombing you. Here, take them back. Yeah, they'll just say, here, take them back.
Israel controls whether they have water, whether they have electricity.
We generously give them water. We generously give them electricity.
It's their land, my dear. It's their land that was taken from them.
Jesus was a Jew. Do you know that? He was born there. The Jews were there first.
Oh, there were no Palestinians there.
Read the Old Testament. Read the New Testament.
Of course, and I know that there's over 400 Palestinian villages that were destroyed in 1948. What's called the Nakba.
Who was here first?
Indigenous people.
Right. So should we all be kidnapped and tortured, our babies put in an oven because we took it from the Native Americans? No. But yet you're living here. I think we should torture you and your family.
Worst argument ever.
Take out your fetus and throw it in an oven and then smell it while they torture you and cut off your body parts and rape you, make you naked and drag you through the street.
I just wish your kids were gonna be there.
Yeah, you are fucking so stupid.
I wish they will rape
After
you
talking about Jesus.
alive. They will film you, and if your mother will be alive, they will send the video for your mother to see how you burn. That's what I wish. And this is, if this is okay for you, so I don't know what you made from.
To say, to wish that
It's
anybody
terrible.
be treated.
It's terrible that people had it.
I know.
People burned alive.
And it's
The
terrible.
mother
what
watch it on
the
TV,
bomb-
on the video,
you know
on
what
the
a bomb-
video.
You know what a bomb
They
does?
film it.
It burns people
Oh,
alive.
they didn't. Why don't you go to Gaza?
Why don't you go to Gaza
to live
Pulling
there?
out all the classics.
Why don't
Yeah.
you go there? Why don't you go there?
It's like
Let's
be very
clear. My ass, your ass. You don't know nothing.
Peace and love. Let's all live
Let's
together.
be
in
very
peace.
clear. And this was all started because she had a sign that says Jews say peace fire.
Mhm.
That's what made them so outraged.
Yeah, because what they're Jews and they have a problem with it because it's not. And then here's the thing: they'll try to force their doctrine down your throat, like Jesus did this, Jesus did that, Jesus did this, but then be like, but how about you go get raped? How about you go to Gaza? How about you? The same things that you're saying about the people that Hamas is doing to the people of Israel. Do you see what's happening to the people of Gaza? So if we're all about people, and if Jesus was all about people, regardless of what they look like or whatever, none of what they're saying it doesn't apply, because nobody should be getting burned alive. Nobody should be getting raped. We should be saving all of the people. And there, to me, are very one-sided to see these people rallying, for Israel, and to see this one Jewish person stand alone with her, her little crew, and just have a sign up and be attacked in that way, while people were trying to throw who Jesus was at her, and she's just saying, "Hey, listen, you're telling me about kids that are being burned up. The bombs are burning up children. Like, you're telling me about rape. There's a lot happening. People shouldn't be dying, lady. Like, that's it. Why are you coming at me telling me I need to go and experience rape? How about I go have I ever been to Gaza?" Then the girl, that young woman that told her, "Hey, we give them access to water. We give, like, literally, like they're Cinderella, and all other people are the stepsisters and the stepmama. Like, Israel's it shouldn't go that way. If this is their land, if this is their area, they should have access to that already. They shouldn't need Israel to give them that. And so that was problematic to start with. So that was nasty to see. I'm
It just exposed it.
People are like that, but it's
we give them all these wonderful things for a limited amount of time.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you know what?
Well, I mean, the idea that Israel controls this is part of it's part of the occupation, the blockade. I mean, what other places there's no other country that depends on another country for basic needs like that. What other situation would we possibly could be talking about where another country can just completely cut off water from a country, from another area, like that's not their part of their country. I mean, but it's absurd. It's absurd. I mean, you see the language used. I mean, it's also incredibly racist and xenophobic and Islamophobic, because this is what they just think. If you go to Gaza, you'll just get raped and burnt and killed and whatever. Like, they really view this. They really view an entire people, and by they, I mean these hardcore Zionists.
Yeah, Christian and Jewish Zionists. It's not just like Jewish.
Zionism has nothing to do with Judaism.
Exactly,
it just doesn't. It's. I mean, you can just see it at that rally based on. There was a whole contingent of people there holding up signs called Christians for Zionism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a right-wing nationalist movement. That's what Zionism is. I mean, it's not even me just describing it that way. It is a ethno-nationalist movement. I mean, you just look up the meaning of it. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. It demeans an entire people in this way, because they're not just talking about Hamas or whatever. It's very clear they're not. And you know, the people were saying go to Gaza. I mean, you can't go to Gaza right now. Israel won't let you. I mean, it's again like what other place on earth could another country just completely deny your ability to go there, or in the Palestinians' case, to even leave there, and it's not considered technically part of, like, there's nowhere. That's it. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Every time I see that talking point, by the way, that's used frequently to be like, oh, so what about indigenous people? Like, you know, how does that apply? A couple quick points. One, the idea of what colonization is and what those terms mean when people talk about indigenous person, settler, colonizer, that is usually defined through the process of colonization. So when you're colonizing another country, that's where the indigenous people are then going to be, from that perspective, seen as indigenous versus settler. That's why treaties are directly signed between a colonial force and the people they are colonizing in order to find or broker some kind of a deal as to who now has land title. That's why land back movements today, that's why they're having success, because a lot of the original settlers of North America signed treaties with indigenous people, didn't honor them, and now courts today are like, oh, actually, this is their land, so we should be giving it back. But the other part of that that's even more fucked up is that indigenous people, especially in North America, they're still alive. You know, they've been actively tried to have been genocided against. They've survived. Their languages have survived in a lot of cases. Some are dead and gone, and that's, you know, tragedy. But that doesn't justify what is taking place in other parts of the world. Or if there is other colonial projects, you can't be like, oh, what should we just, like, you know, fucking give land back to indigenous people? Yes, yes, you should. Like, honestly, every time I hear that, I'm always like, well, how is that an argument? That's not,
I mean, also a major thing that makes it a lot different. I mean, everything you said is true, obviously, but I mean, what's going on in Israel is an occupation. It's an apartheid. I mean, what we, you know, historically what we've done to the native people is obviously horrible, but they have full voting rights. They are equal here in terms of, like, the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, they can't vote, yet Israel basically controls everything they do. They have no voting. They can't elect anyone in Israel, yet Israel basically maintains a power over them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have no choice.
No, they don't have a choice. And that is, I don't know why those people were yelling as if those people in Gaza have a choice about how they're living, what's going on with them. So ceasefire is an option, and that could help those people.
That's only the start. We should add that, because I know a lot of people are saying, like, well, the left wants a ceasefire. Yes, that's the start. We also want, like, an end to apartheid. You know, that's also one of the you know, goals of this. The ceasefire is for right now to stop kids getting crushed under, you know, rubble and concrete. That's why. And then that can also open the doors for humanitarian aid and diplomacy. That's usually what is supposed to happen after a ceasefire. But hopefully, I mean, I feel like right now the world, in a way that it hadn't previously, especially on this topic, has really just collectively opened their eyes to something that was so taboo to ever speak about or speak out about. And, you know, I've seen so many people like Naomi Klein, for example. She's like, when I was a Jewish activist against Zionism back in the day, it was a lonely place. I would be amongst just a handful of people, and now there is a sea of you in front of DC, you know, all supporting this movement. So I genuinely really hope it never goes back to the way things were, and people keep fighting until in our lifetime we can see an end to that apartheid state.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one more thing that I wanted to show you all before we leave. So a lot of people are focused on, like, Palestine.
Why do we have to leave?
So. Well, get to super chats, I should say.
Can we just hang out, Mike? Are you not having fun? I'm having fun,
baby. You know, I'm out of here. I had a good time. I'm gone. You know, David ain't here, but you know, me and David will be out. Lance, you too.
I took my Wellbutrin. I'm kind of like right now.
See?
Well, I just wanted to put this into the ether. So this is a TikTok from her name is Chauncey, and she's talking about the Congolese situation, which, if you don't know, there's a genocide taking place in Congo right now. And the Democratic Republic of Congo, they have a lot of resources that are getting exploited. And basically the phones, like the lithium batteries that we have, this is made in Congo, and they're being brutalized. So this was a really good TikTok that I saved after seeing it. that just kind of like shares the situation. So, or talks about the situation. So I wanted to share that really quick.
Not only was I born and raised in the Democratic Republic of Congo, I am also a refugee. The Congolese people are no stranger to war. In fact, many people can't even pinpoint if the war ever ended or when it truly started. What we do know is what it's about and what it has done to our beautiful Congo. Congo is one of the world's largest producers of cobalt, which is used for batteries and all of your electric cars. We are also one of the world's largest producers of coltan, which is used for your phone. Right now in the DRC, women, children, men, people are being forced into slavery in order to continue to produce these resources so the world can keep spinning while our people continue to suffer. These rebel groups are being funded by America, France, Britain, Israel. In 2016, I was doing pageants. I was straight out of college, advocating for this, fighting for this. And all of those years ago, it consumed me. All I could do was try to fight for my country, was do all I can in my power to fight for my country. And it feels like it was useless. It feels like nothing has changed. And those were years ago. Fast forward to 2023, and women are still being raped. People are still being killed in ways that we cannot even say, we cannot even express without losing our minds, because it is inhumane what is happening to people in Congo. It feels like no matter what we do, it just never ends. No matter how often we participate in fundraisers, we join support groups to end conflict, we raise awareness, it does not feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I think I just kind of gave up. I feel like I had to give up. Like I have to live my life without feeling like I'm in this constant just slum of what is this world? And sometimes it takes a lot for us to come on here and try to raise awareness when something is this close to home, when something hits this close to home. Here is a few things you can do. You can support diplomatic efforts to end the conflict. Of course, you can always donate as well. And if you're comfortable and if you can emotionally handle it, you can learn more and raise awareness. It's almost like the people of Congo never stood a chance. We never stood a chance.
That's a lot, right? I've covered it on my show like 3 weeks ago about it.
It was a good video, by the way. I watched it on
yeah.
the stream. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that discussing it, hearing her talk about it and the resources and how rich, they have their resources in Congo, but how they're abused and how they partner, they being the colonizing people who are the people that they partner with, like the countries that she's named, including Israel, France, Britain. These are the OG colonizing groups that go over there and will take and partner with neighboring countries to attack or to infiltrate those areas.
Canadian mining companies play a huge role too.
Yeah. And to rape and do all these things just to take. That's all they want is to take. And it reminds me of I'm a product of immigrants out of Haiti, for those of you who don't know. And it just reminds me of Haiti. All these colonizing countries who have no business coming there and partner up with Haitians themselves, bad Haitians, gangs, all the stuff, and take from us, just continuously take. The U.S. has a hand in that. We know France has a hand in that, and they just take. They just come to these countries and take. And the pain that I see her feeling, they're experiencing something that's been happening for decades, and her pain because she doesn't understand. She doesn't know what else she can do. She doesn't know. You think that she wanted to leave home? You think she wanted to leave where she's from? You think that she none of that? No. But sometimes you just feel like you got to give up. I've heard about like Nina Simone, who was fighting for rights in America. And she got tiring and she moved out of the country. A lot of these abolitionists or people or these activists, they get super tired. People who are from these countries who want to fight for their countries, who stand on the front lines, it gets super tiring. Genocide is happening in their country right now, but you won't hear about that because America doesn't see that as some kind of actual story as to those people as anything either. Genocide is happening in Haiti right now. A war is happening, but we saw
Sudan, Yemen, the forced evacuation of Afghanistan people from Pakistan. There's so many conflicts that aren't paid attention to.
That are not paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to, and if they mention the country, it's going to be for something else, something that's like, hey, people are dying in this particular country. We saw, like I was about to say, like with when Ukraine was in a war, Haiti was in a war. Haitians came over here, they sent their asses right back home. Ukrainians had an opportunity. So I think it has to do something, of course, I believe that it has to do something with race, but I also believe that, like, they're not going to shine a light on in these stories because it'll take away from us focusing on Israel and, and Gaza, which we need to be focused on. But this is happening also over here. Like, we need to figure out how to stop this. All these colonizing countries are involved in it. And I'm pretty sure America may be involved in that in some kind of way too. So we need to call for humanity. Like, like humanitarian pause or whatever, ceasefire. Let's start getting help to these people that make sense, and these people are crying out. Now we have social media. This has been going on for a minute in the Republic of Congo. This has been going on for a long time, but now we have social media where we can start having these conversations. And when we see a light being shed on places like Gaza, there are other people in other countries that are having these issues too. Just because we talk about Congo doesn't mean that we are removing the light from Gaza. We can talk about these things and be okay, like, and have these conversations and try to see what we can do if we can to help. That's okay.
And it's like she said in that video, by the way, you should also look domestically at what's taking place, because you might not know this, but in your backyard, not only is a lot of the corporations that are really responsible for the mining excavations over there, Canadian companies, a lot of Canadian mining companies, but also, domestically here, there's people like Indigenous communities having their sovereign rights trampled on that you could go to direct protests on, just like on the ground right now. A lot of the stuff seems like far away in like a different country and stuff like that. It's a lot of times not. You just got to look in your backyard.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, these things are really important to pay attention to, because as she said in that video, which is really important, is that like all of the things that, like, these little things that we kind of don't think about that make our lives more convenient, somebody is suffering because of it. And this is global capitalism. It doesn't have to be this way. Like, it doesn't have to be the case that the lithium battery in this phone is made from slave labor.
That you're watching the Leftist Mafia on right now.
Right. Yeah, you right now.
Yeah.
Right. This is the system. But the thing is that just because this system is in place doesn't necessarily mean that it always has to be this way. It doesn't actually.
No.
Like these countries who are developing, they don't have to be exploited like this. But and again, like as you all were saying, like, I mean, you can throw a dart at the world map, and if it lands on Nigeria, you're going to see the way that they had this resource curse where there's oil there and it ravaged their country. These, large multinational corporations just like taking everything from them. Like it's in every one of these countries who don't have the power to push back. The United States has all the power. Like the power imbalance is huge. And on top of that, we have veto power at the UN Security Council. So in the event these human rights abuses are addressed, we can veto it, as we did with Israel. So it's just something to be aware of, right? Because I think that you need to understand the system that we live in, and that's not to say that like you're guilty, but in a way we're all complicit. Yeah, it's all connected. This is global capitalism, and this is why we need to be aware of it and not accept it. Like we don't have to accept this as the status quo just because it is the status quo.
Yeah. And we don't have to ignore it. And I think that that's a bigger thing. And I think that, I know it's a lot. Like she said, I mean, it was a lot for her where she's like, I had to give up. But joining in the conversation and just saying the little things that you can do. And if it is too much for you, hey, and I want to be clear about that. We ain't got to pick up we don't got to be on every front line. But like, I think for platforms, you can just have the discussion about it, have the conversation about it, let people know what's going on.
Be aware.
If they, you bring awareness to it. And if they want to do something about it, if you want to help in whatever way, shape, or form you can, then you can do that. I know it can be a lot for people who are going through it, have family who are going through it, or just watching it just come across your social media. It can definitely be a lot because America ain't no good. We struggling here. So I know that, it can be a lot. lot, but just being aware that there's genocide happening in the earth. Okay. Like there's stuff happening and mainstream media isn't going to cover it. So this is the only place that we can actually get the conversations going. So
yeah. And it's
always
not
watch
new.
Leftist Mafia.
Yeah.
The only show that tells the truth. You have to watch this.
And like it or not, Lion on Saturday. That's also a show that I'm on, as well as this one that tells the truth. So
well, with that being said, should we move on to super chats?
Yeah, let me read my two little pieces and I'm out, guys. I'm tired.
Well, we should also give Christina a chance to plug all your
Christina
socials and stuff too.
Yeah.
So everywhere on social media, I'm at Cosmepolitics. You can find me on Twitch almost every night. The weekends, I like to hang out with my community, my Discord, because I'm Mama Bear and I want to protect them at all costs. I stream about politics and pop culture stuff from a left-leaning perspective. We react to content, we have fun, we do trivia. We always watch a podcast almost every Thursday or Friday called Dark History with Bailey Sarian. We're going to learn about an actual Willy Wonka who was a killer. So that should be exciting tomorrow to go over.
That sounds fun. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Nice. Everybody go follow Cosmopolitics. We love Christina.
That's a fun type of streaming. Like, you want a boring streaming, you a fun type of streaming. I like
that. We did the React channel did like a 90s pop music trivia, and I was like, my moment has come. And I got them all right. And my chat's like, we know you probably got them all right. Don't be giving us hints or anything like that. Let us try it. I'm like, okay. Also, I reached 3,300 followers on Twitch. So,
congratulations!
Wow.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Congratulations! I love that. I really do. And speaking of followers, on YouTube, I'm almost to 2 grand. So y'all need to get the numbers up. Okay, everybody. Matt Bender has all the people. So all of y'all watching from Bender's place, y'all get on it. Lance, you too. Mike, I saw yours too. Now, Christina, you on here? Get your people to call my people. We over there on YouTube. Rebecca.
Oh yeah, I'll get my. You should come on Movie Night Extravaganza, Rebecca. That'll be fun.
Connect with me. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. I'll be there. But for Smokey Rose, definitely support her. Always hits me up. Love you, mean it. Then she wrote me the same thing. Love you, mean it. See you on Lion tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, babe. Saturday on Lion. Lion is Like It or Not. My other show. So that's Like It or Not with Rebecca Azor. Saturdays, you can watch me there. I will be streaming live. We stream from the Benjamon Dixon channel. And of course, my channel, Rebecca Azor. So shout out to you, Smokey Rose. Love you, mean it. David Mendoza said, for your favorite monster from All Real Monsters, I think it was Oblina, if I can remember. Oblina. And thank you. Shout out to Oninye Okosa. I hope I said your name correctly. You hit me up on PayPal, so shout out to you. I love you guys. Okay, this is my time. You already know I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, and I will see all of you guys. Christina, reach out to me. We'll connect. Bye, y'all.
Yes.
I'll see you guys next Thursday.
I love your Hey Arnold shirt, by the way, Rebecca.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, that's very cute.
Thank you. It's real cute. It's cut. I did a little cutout too. It was like a regular shirt. I cut it out at the top, gave it a little V.
Nice.
Give it a little cleavage. I don't have
like
much,
it.
but I try to do something. Now, next Thursday now, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. It's Thanksgiving, however you want to celebrate. Now I ain't gonna be here. I'm gonna be with my Haitians. I'm gonna be with my Haitians in Florida. Okay?
Oh shit! I didn't realize that was next week.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be with my Haitians in Florida.
So we're not gonna be on because I won't be able to
I
make it either.
I mean, maybe David and Lance will do it because they're not Americans.
I can bring on some fellow Indigenous streamers. We can fill it up.
That'll be nice. And I'll like be in the chat. But I'm gonna be eating some Haitian turkey with my family on next Thursday.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it. I'm gonna hang out with the fam.
Yeah, so I love you guys though, and I will definitely check in, Lance, and I'll check in. I hope David's feeling better. You guys send David some love too, because he's not feeling well. So, bye, y'all.
Take care.
Have a good week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say bye too. Enjoy the super chats. Very nice to have you here, Christina. That was awesome.
I had fun. But I can stay longer, guys, if you want to. I'm on East Coast.
You're free to stay as long as you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. We'd love to have you.
Again, I took my evening Wellbutrin, so I'm like a little more hyperactive. I mean, it's an antidepressant for people with ADD is the best way to describe it. But also works as a bit of a stimulant for those who are bipolar and it's not powerful enough like Adderall to trigger like a manic episode. So like I take it twice a day, and it keeps me focused when I'm working because it gets like a bit of like a time release and a flow.
Oh, okay.
So if anyone ever wants to take something for like their ADD or ADHD, Wellbutrin is affordable and won't cause mayhem.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so with that being said, we've got the Synapse. This is for you, I believe, Matt.
Is it? Hold on, let me get my stuff up so I can see. Yes, this is, well, first of all, Tokyo Hans gifted, I don't think that shows up on StreamYard, but Tokyo Hans, thank you for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. And then the Synapse with a membership super chat. Happy 50th Leftist Mafia. Matt, what is your favorite Simple Plan song? There is no favorite Simple Plan song. I know what you're trying to. You don't know what you're trying there. It's not a band I listen to.
Okay, Tokyo Hans for you.
Tokyo Hans, 50th show. Let's all celebrate with a sip of cola and a slice of Domino's pizza. Oh man, I can go for Domino's pizza right now.
Ew.
Christina,
I love Domino's.
I've got to ask Christina, is it just like the perspective, or is that the biggest drink cup I've ever seen in my entire life?
Oh, so as a Barbie fan, I purchased this at the local movie theater, which is within walking distance. And they're like, buy this. And every time you bring it to see a movie, you don't have to pay for a drink. And I'm like, I'd rather spend $10 on buying this and never having to pay like $10 for a drink for the rest of my life. So I'm keeping this.
It's humongous. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's basically the size of like the large at a movie theater. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
I'm surprised I brought this to me when I saw Oppenheimer. I didn't have to go to the bathroom during that 3-hour-long movie.
Oh, see, that's next level. I could not do that. We've got another one for you. Speaking of pizza, Matt.
Kowalski with a super chat. Chicago style pizza. Need pizza with depth in the cold. Not a fan of Chicago style. No, sorry.
Every time my sister comes from New Jersey, because she moved back up there, in Freehold, there's this place called Federici's Pizza. And I do have a few people who are familiar with it because they live in the Central Jersey area. And so every time my sister comes down here for a visit, she always brings us a Fed's pie. And it's thin, crispy. Oh, it's so good. Like, you really have to hold it.
You're making me hungry.
I know, it's so good.
All this talk of pizza. Okay, this one is from me. This is from Kuya Demon with 550. Thank you so much. Congrats on 50 episodes of Leftist Mafia, Mike. You guys did it. Love to you and the rest of the gang. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's honestly hard to believe that it's 50 episodes, but yeah, it's been almost a year since we started. That's crazy.
Big
5 2 more episodes, right?
Wow. Look at us. Kowalski 199. I was conceived the night of Super Bowl 27 in 1993.
Okay, so you're like a month or two older than me then.
We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this.
I don't know when or where I was conceived.
I just did the math in my head.
Hideous Lemon with 5 pounds. Thank you. Was about to go to bed. It's 1:30 a.m. And then I see you guys are on. Also Cosmopolitics. Let's go. Yeah. So Hideous Lemon, for those who don't know, is in Scotland. So it's the middle of the night for him. All right, this one's for you, Matt.
Kuya Damon with a $10 super chat. Thank you. And congrats to you, Matt, on 50 episodes of the Leftist Mafia. I'm sure by the time you read this, you've already delivered a completely satisfying takedown of that super cringe March for Israel in D.C. I think I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Gotta deliver when you're giving me $10, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we all had, I think, our own little takes on this. It was ridiculous. Another one for you.
Narrator with a super chat. Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens need to stop appropriating leftist culture of infighting. Right. That's our thing.
Yeah.
All right, Wanda, for you, Matt.
Wanda with a member super chat. Matt to the rescue again on MR today. Thank you, Wanda. Wanda's referring to how I took charge of the show because Emma was out sick. Hope Emma feels better.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually have an autograph of Emma. One of my friends who I volunteer with for Bernie went to VidCon that one weekend of like a month or so back. And he got his pass signed by her. And I was like, girl, I got your autograph. And she's like, yeah.
That's cute. This one's also for you from Wanda.
Wanda, thank you for the super sticker. Which one is it? Let me see. It's a, I don't know if I've seen this super sticker. It is a person jumping out of like a cloud and going, hiya. Thank you, Wanda.
And another one for you.
Tokyo Hans with a super chat. After looking it up, I've discovered that Ben Shapiro is 44 days older than me. This has ruined my day. On the plus side, his initials are BS, and Ben in Japanese means poo. So there is that. I think that last bit of information is great. I did not know that, and I'm glad you shared that with us, Tokyo Hans.
That's so funny. Kowalski 199. Matt, can we replace David Doel with Chat GPT? No, that's so mean. Of course we could never.
Oh no.
Forrester with a super chat. It's always interesting to watch right-wingers try to square the circle of being a pro-Israel Nazi. I mean, it's easy for... There are plenty of them playing both sides. And what you're seeing is basically the people who view Nazi, being a Nazi and being anti-Semitic and hating on Jewish people and being full-on white supremacist in that way, they are on the anti-Israel side. But then the right-wingers, the far-right people who hate Muslims because they're very Islamophobic, the right-wingers who hate immigrants because, you know, they're brown people, they are on the pro-Israel side because they like what they see there, too. There's a lot of playing both sides, a lot of right-wingers on both sides of the fence on this one. It just depends on what drives their... for each fascist personally, what drives their fascism. Whether you hate Jews or you hate brown people more. And based on what they feel there, that's how they decide how they're playing this one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kevin Slims with $2. Ben is very angry. Absolutely, he is molding.
When is he not angry at this point? He's always losing his mind. I mean, look at his 45-minute review of Barbie versus the Oppenheimer movie. I'm like, the Oppenheimer movie should have made you realize, oh, maybe the bombs were a bit of a mistake, but no. Okay, cool. You didn't watch it then.
I still have not seen either of those, by the way. They still haven't put Barbie up for like just a regular rental. I don't want to spend $20, so
yeah.
I might just,
if you have HBO Max, I think it's coming on soon.
Oh, okay. Well, I would be able to watch it then because I could leech somebody's password or restart for like a month. Okay, That's good. All right.
Kowalski with a super chat. Ben v. Candace. The left is like, let them fight. Yeah.
Hog on hog violence.
Dan Gonzalez with $2. Thank you. Is there a way viewers can send media to THR? Like a video? I mean, if you have like a link, you could DM it to me if I follow you, or you can email it to me at mike@humanistreport.com, although I am a little bit bad at checking my email and worried to download things that I get.
For certain types of video, Dan, I suggest you just slide into Mike's DMs.
I didn't think about how that sounded. Yeah. I don't know. Just tweet at me if there's something in particular that you want me to see. Although I've been horrible at checking my emails, and I'm getting caught up on my DMs, but I'm not fully yet. So yeah, just yell at me.
Just for me, I think it is. Bay Photo with a super chat. Gonna put this out there. If any of you ever switch to a log cabin or woodshop theme set, we'll assume you have gone right wing and stop watching.
I'm staying with my bisexual lighting. I'm good.
I mean, I honestly would. It actually seems appealing to just be in a log cabin, frankly. But yeah, I mean, but Mike has like a wall that has like a wood design on it. He's not like in a wood house. Like he's like it's not like he's entirely made of wood. Like seemingly Tucker Carlson is streaming from.
Also, that
broadcasting from.
That Brett Cooper chick stole my streaming setup. If you ever look at her stuff on the I'm like, what's with the bedroom and the different I mean, some streamers who just chat actually have 2 cameras because they really take Twitch as like their job very seriously. But I'm over here like, okay, you're really not that big of a deal, and you stole my setup, so I demand some thanks for that. Okay, I need to be credited.
Yeah. She's plagiarizing you.
Yes.
This is for me. Guamu, congrats on having evaded Leftist Mafia eviction for 50 episodes. I'll give Mexican pesos because economy. Thank you, Guamu. I accept anything. I accept even the Iraqi dinar. What is it? It's right, dinar, right? I'll even accept that.
Yeah, I think so.
Even though it's basically worthless. There's a whole subset of right wingers, like QAnon brained people, but this even goes back before QAnon was a thing, where this goes back like the Bush era, where they've invested in Iraqi dinar, like their currency, because they believe that it's going to become worth a lot of money, and that's never happened. So basically, you have a bunch of people who've given like like a bunch of older people who've given their life savings to like this worthless currency, with the belief that it's going to like all of a sudden shoot up and they're going to become millionaires overnight.
People are very stupid. Like, I'm sorry, that's just...
They really are.
Okay, this one is from me from Bay Photo. Thank you so much, Bay Photo, for the $4.99. Are y'all sure we can't keep George Santos around? Not as a congressman, but maybe as like a congressional court jester. He'd bring good lulls. You know what? I will say to that, Bay Photo, as much as I'm ready to be done with the George Santos saga, I will absolutely watch the documentary / biopic when it comes out, because you know that's going to be a banger for sure.
I'm gonna miss that guy. What's his name? George.
Okay, the next couple I believe are for you, Matt.
All right, let's do this. Narrator with a super chat. Okay, but hear me out. OnlyFans is mental health care and campaigns are stressful.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's not for me. This one's for you or for David.
Oh, this is for David then. Okay, well, Brett Cohen for David Doel, $10. Good to catch you live again. As an outsider, Aussie, why don't you either pick out what's wrong with their own anymore? It's just knee-jerk reactionary to the other. The middle is real people.
I'm a little bit confused because Brett is saying how good to catch you live again, but he's clearly not watching because David's not here.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I don't know if I'm just tired, but I feel like I don't understand the question. As an outsider Aussie, why don't either pick out what's wrong with their own anymore? Just they could have. To be fair, Brett could have like commented when we were talking specifically about something. I'm not sure though. Although, thank you for the $10 Australian to David Doel.
Tokyo Han says, I am just sad that Santos has the same name as a great Mexican wrestler. That's true. But you don't have to conflate the two. You could separate them very easily. Ryan Chan with a super chat. My favorite George Santos lie was him claiming he had a volleyball scholarship to Baruch College. He doesn't play volleyball or went to Baruch College. I also don't think Baruch has a volleyball team either. It was something so crazy. Yeah, it was something really wild. Like the lie was so out there that like, yeah, it was something like that though, involving a volleyball team. I remember
that. Brandon with $6.99 Canadian. Thank you so much. Cenk's ego is out of control. If he really wants Trump to lose, he'd use his PAC money to push through RFK Jr. to all the conspiracy nut jobs, i.e. Trump's pro-vax. Yeah, I mean, for sure, Cenk definitely has an ego. Sorry, go ahead, Christina.
I watched his debate with Ben Glebe about Israel Palestine, and I just wanted to throw my headphones across because I just find Ben not a helpful asset for DYD because the stuff he was saying was very dangerous propaganda, and I'm like,
Oh, really? I haven't seen this. I've
heard it's a 26-minute long video. My dumbass reacted to on stream the other day.
Give me an example of what was going on. What was?
Well,
what
of course, Jake trying to be nuanced and balanced about the situation because he's all about nuance. And then Ben's like, "You're not like." At the end, he's like, "It didn't seem like you were trying to be fair and balanced and nuanced, Jake." And then Mark Thomas is like, Mark Thompson's like right there, like just watching it. Like, I'm like, you should have been in the middle, dude.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
I will say though, I did see Cenk's appearance on Piers Morgan and his debate with Rabbi Shmuley, and I think he's really good at communicating on this particular issue. Although I haven't seen the I haven't seen that debate with Ben Glebe. Maybe if you put a video up, I'll watch your reaction to it because I've heard about this in the beginning, but I still haven't seen. I think somebody sent in a super chat if I'm remembering correctly about it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people talking about Ben Glebe. He was bad on this. I don't know him. I don't.
Yeah, because he's Jewish and he's very pro.
Well, it doesn't mean anything. There's lots of Jewish people who are pro Palestine.
Yeah.
But what's his reasoning? He's just pro Israel. What was he arguing?
He's saying it's not an occupation. He's saying that
That's undeniable.
What those people were saying in that video, like, they get, the water, it's, Hamas is, it got me so like, dad and dad are fighting, and I don't like it. Like,
oh wow,
yeah.
I mean, they're literally called the occupied Palestinian territories. I mean, the idea that you still even argue that there's an occupation is ludicrous.
Yeah,
I mean,
not even arguable.
You want that's even beyond arguing whether it's an apartheid, which it is, whether it's genocide, which is what's going on. But those two things
going on.
Those two things, at least I guess you can sort of make a case if you're coming from a certain viewpoint. But the occupation is just undeniable in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Definitely.
Still alive with $4.99. Thank you so much. Did any of you guys happen to watch the debate last night between Vosh and Amazing Atheist? If not, you definitely should. It was Vosh at his best. I started it. I'm at the very, very beginning. I was listening a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
I didn't get to like the heated part or anything yet.
I
know
think
it got heated.
Jack is reacting to it right now on her stream.
Oh, okay.
What were they debating about?
I believe it was the vote blue no matter who stuff.
And who was arguing for what?
I'm assuming Vosh was arguing to vote Biden, and Amazing Atheist was taking the opposite stance. Although I'm not sure because I'm like probably I still have it up actually. I'm not very far in it. I was watching it when I was getting ready. Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes in, so I'm not. Or no, not to. I skipped to the time. They have timestamps, so let me go over it really quick. Because I'm 10 minutes into the second part of it, which is doomerism. But then they have, if you go forward, there's like, it gets heated at the 2-hour mark. So yeah, it's supposed to be really big based on the title. So that's what like interested me. Yeah, I'll watch it and I'll let you all know if I'm able to finish it this weekend.
Yeah.
Magaconda in my Twitch chat says no one can outsmart Vosh. I think I could.
Yeah, I think you could.
But the problem is, I don't know how many things I disagree with Vosh about. It doesn't seem like very many. I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Okay, infinite content with $5. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Ye should have known that when you say some things, you can't come back. The black delegation had to revoke his cookout pass. Yeah, I mean, like. Yep. I think that's absolutely correct, right? Like some things are just so devastating that you can never put the cat back in the bag. And he does. I think he was so egotistical that he thought that he could get away with anything or say anything, and no matter how controversial, he could get people to forget, I guess. But like some things you can't come back from. Some things people remember, and like saying that slavery was a choice, that is so painful. Like that's all you think about. Like saying
I
that
think
he loved
first
Hitler.
That one is what I think of, because the way he said it too. I love.
There's a lot of things I
love about. Oh, it
Yeah.
was so bizarre. It was so bizarre.
Yeah. That I mean, the dude he's done. Like, I can never listen to his shit again. Unless he does a complete mea culpa in 180, but I just don't think that he has the self-awareness to be able to do something like that or realize that he's wrong.
Yeah.
Foresto, a bit late because I was driving, but wanted to inform people that Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland as a love letter to a 10-year-old he was grooming. What?
Yep. That's true.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is that can't really ruin Alice in Wonderland for me because I never really liked it as a kid. I thought it was kind of boring. Hideous Lemon. These Zionists, and thank you, Hideous Lemon. These Zionists are so angry that Jews, like any demographic, aren't a monolith. Yeah. And you see that vitriol too. I think that Bassem Youssef made a great point about this when he was interviewed by Piers Morgan. He was saying that, like, if you criticize Israel and you're not Jewish, they'll call you anti-Semitic. But if you're like Bernie Sanders or Naomi Klein and you criticize Israel, then they'll say that you're like either a self-hating Jew or you're not a real Jewish person. There's basically no criticism of Israel is permitted. It's fucked up. But they're not a monolith. And that does piss them off. It's ironic that like you have so many politicians like calling Jewish peace activists anti-Semitic and stuff.
Yeah.
The audacity of some people, it's so fucked up.
It's a whole thing.
Absolutely. This one is you, Matt.
Is this from? Well, first I want to say Marcus Tan, thank you for becoming a supporter and narrator. The $20 super chat. $20, my God. The entire purpose of Israel is to have a white nuclear armed government and military in the Middle East to threaten and surveil the brown people. Also why South Africa was denuclearized in the early 90s before the end of apartheid. I mean, it's certainly, I mean, the reason Israel's a strategic partner, that more than anything. It's not that the United States actually loves the Jewish homeland so much. It's because they view it as a strategic benefit. I mean, that's completely
absolutely
right. And Israel knows this too. That's why they basically have branded themselves as this sort of like technological military wonderland, like the IDF and the Iron Dome. It's all like, oh, nobody else has this. We're on the forefront, and that's why you need us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Infinite Content with $5. Thank you again. Can we talk about how Latin America and African nations are cutting diplomatic and economic relations with Israel? How is bombing protecting hostages? Yeah, I think that's really, I love that. I don't know if you also saw that. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she signed on to some letter that I think the Latin American caucus or Hispanic caucus, I'm not sure what the name is, but they sent out a letter condemning the Latin American countries for condemning Israel. And it's like they're condemning them for condemning bombing. It's just no amount of criticism is acceptable, even if you are a foreign country. But like when it comes to Latin America and like African countries, like these American lawmakers need to understand how bad it is for them to like scold these countries. Like fuck off. Like we've ruined their countries already.
I saw Kyle Klinsky screenshot like something from Rumble of Alan Dershowitz saying that bombing hospitals can like protect people or something like that, and I'm like,
I saw that.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I told my mom that. She's like, that doesn't make any sense, and I don't know much about any of this conflict. And I'm like, yeah,
it's just on its face so silly.
Yeah, these people love getting dunked on. It's just that's what I've come to.
Especially Dershowitz, yeah. Matt, I think this one is for you from Bill Barney Jr.
Oh, Bill Barney Jr. with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Israel isn't fighting Hamas. Likud fanatics are targeting Palestinians and clearing infrastructure to expand their goal of a 21st century equivalent of Lebensraum plus living space. I mean, listen, I don't know where I don't think anyone really knows where this is going, but it's very clear that it's from the stuff that Israel. I mean, hold on, let me rephrase. We can't be sure where this is going, obviously, yet, because it's what's happening in real time right now. But based on the words of a number of Israeli politicians in government, and what the IDF is broadcasting via their video page, videos that they're putting on social media and stuff, it very does seem to be like they are planning on a long-term stay in Gaza. They're literally openly saying at times that they're going to reoccupy Gaza. And I think this country's, the United States' reaction to that will be a real tell. What will we do if they decide, nah, this is it?
Yeah. Narrator with $10. Thank you so much. As Biden has said many times, if there were no Israel, the U.S. would create one. Exactly. Zionism is a useful excuse. How many would support a black ethno state? What if Hamas leaders hid in Israel? Yeah, I mean, listen, Israel also benefits, aside from like the geopolitical strategic value that they present to us. But like, there's a lot of people in the U.S. Christians, for example, they're Christian Zionists because they actually believe that like Jewish people retaking control of all of Israel, that is facilitating the end times prophecy. And it's a really anti-Semitic belief system as well, because they believe that like once this is all in place, they'll either convert or be killed. And I've talked about how like I was raised evangelical. This is literally what we're taught. Like I saw somebody on Twitter saying, "Oh, this is a conspiracy." No, it's literally what we're taught from a very young age. Like we're taught to be Zionists as Christians. So and it's not a good belief to have, to think, "Oh, I can't wait for this to happen so that way all of these people can die in Jesus's return." Like it's psychotic, honestly. So yeah. This one is for you, I believe, Matt.
Balthazar 228 with a $20 super chat. It still feels like the best solution would be to move Israeli citizens to Florida, West Texas, North Texas, and recreate the holy sites. You want the Holy Land? How about Disneyland? The side effect of Walt Disney rolling over. I mean, I'm not for I don't think it's good to remove anybody from.
Yeah, we don't want ethnic cleansing again.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I mean, that's why. I mean, I'm fine with whatever solution the majority of Palestinians and Israelis decide in terms of it being a one state or two state. I feel like, I mean, obviously one state makes the most sense because no one would have to move. No one would have to leave. Because the two state, just based on the facts of what it would create, you would require people to leave from where they live.
There's like 750,000 Israeli settlers in the West Bank. Like, how do you even like it seems impossible. Like it seems so difficult. Like I don't even know how that would be facilitated.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is also for you from Jay Cass.
Jay Cass says, you ever get a chance to see John Oliver's video? I still haven't had a chance. I got.
It's really good.
I watched it. It was good, actually.
I heard it's good. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that you can like pick at, but for the most part, in terms of like mainstream media, this is a really good take. Yeah, and I think that it's good because the people who he's talking to, these are disproportionately going to be liberals, and we need the liberals to wake up on this, and I think they are, to their credit, because they're the ones who are going to put the pressure on the Democratic Party. Because if the Democratic Party just sees like a bunch of leftists speaking up, they're not going to take it seriously. But once liberals start to get pissed off, that's when they do take it seriously. So I really think that the segment will do more good than anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a couple for me here. So we've got Narrator again. Thank you so much, Narrator. $10. The U.S. holds a third of the world's wealth. Our imperialism, economic and military, is the largest driving force of abject suffering in the world. There is no country the U.S. has moral superiority to. I don't necessarily agree with the last sentence because I think that there are countries that are worse, but I think it's undeniable what you're saying about the pain and suffering that we're causing around the world, right? Like there are differences. Like I think that the way that we have civil liberties, as much as they're being trampled on, and freedom of speech, I think that's good. Comparatively speaking, if you look at, like, for example, just the worst example, North Korea, you don't have those same rights. So in terms of like moral superiority to how we treat our own people, even though we're treated shitty, there are better examples. But I think it's undeniable that the U.S. causes the most pain and suffering by far, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Peachtree Dishes with $2.75. Thank you so much. Love you all from QC for Rebecca. Good night. Thank you so much. J Cass, La Barba de Mike Espectacular. I don't speak Spanish. Help me out.
I think he's saying you're great.
Well, thank you so much. What does barba mean?
Maybe it's the beard.
Oh, is it?
The beard on Mike is spectacular. I guess. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I barely speak German, and I took that in high school for 3 years.
Let's see. Barba Spanish. It's beard. You were right. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's awesome.
It right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, J-Cass.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Okay, so this is from Reganin Themoni. The money. $10. Thank you. Hey all, I'm a fellow Portlander. Hey, like Mike, Portland, like Gaza, is about 140 square miles. It's also split by a river. Couldn't imagine being forced to evacuate to East Portland in the dead of night. Yeah, it is such a small piece of space geographically. You know, and having so many people move, like it's inconceivable. It really is shocking, like, to think about. Like, we can imagine how bad it would be, but like it's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. I'm sorry. Okay, this one, I don't know who this is for. Let me check.
That's for me. Brendan K. Detroit style za equals best za, in my honest opinion. I've never tried it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What's next?
Sorry, let me see here. Okay.
Bob Carmody with a member super chat, I should say. Only 50 episodes to go to syndication, right? Yes. that's the number. And then once we hit that magical number of 100 episodes, you'll be seeing Leftist Mafia on TBS, the CW, and every other station that just seems to
it happens on Pluto TV channel. Let's go.
Hey.
Balthazar 228, will you call this episode Leftist Mafia L and not chicken out like the Super Bowl? Also, it's a reverse of MLM as a LML. Yeah.
See, if we were doing Roman numeral style, then I would. But since we've just been doing non-Roman numerals, it would be not good for my OCD. A Day in Forever with $2. Where in SC is she from? I'm from Rock Hill.
I live in Aiken, which is like on the border to Augusta, Georgia. And the funny thing about Aiken is that when people come down here for like the Masters, they rather stay in Aiken because they call Augusta Disgusta, like it needs to get cleaned up. Mark Wallenberg has a place here. And there's times where we see him downtown, like
really
vibing. Yeah, because his daughter is an equestrian. And my town's big on horses. I clean for a lot of horse people. They do this thing called steeplechase. So FDR used to come to this bougie restaurant called the Wilcox to see his mistress. Fred Astaire lived here. Andy Williams lived here. The Big Show, the rest of the Big Show's from here. So we got a few celebrities.
By the way, A Day in Forever had the funniest comment in one of my videos. I did a video about the Markwayne Mullen fight threat to the union boss, Sean O'Brien.
Yeah.
And Bernie broke it up. And then A Day in Forever said, oh, Bernie's finally calling for a ceasefire or something like that. So funny. I had to pin it. That was such a funny comment. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt.
Oh, I think this is for me. Aragonian Bum with his $10 super chat. Great show today. Just got my monthly check, so I'm splurging on this. 1, where can I send you these goofy emotes? And 2, how do we dismantle global capitalism, JK? Remember, self-care, fatigue is real. Yeah, I think I'm feeling, first of all, what goofy emotes?
Argonian is the person who made a bunch of really cool emotes for all of us.
Oh, right. Email them to me or DM me on Twitter, and I'll send you my email address, so it's easy for you just to click. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm feeling this past month and a half. I've been really felt worn out every day.
Yep.
It's been
Get on Wellbutrin. You'll feel fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna take like 2 weeks off in December, and just like try to refresh my brain, because I need. I'm just gonna prepare some content. I'm working on it like already, just so it's good content and not like shit filler. Because like mentally, if I keep focusing on this shit, it's gonna drive me crazy. And I do think self-care is important.
I usually love streaming by evidence of me doing 4-hour plus streams some nights. But these past couple of weeks, like I've like when Tuesday when I usually stream, I haven't been looking too forward to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for me, as I've been doing this for like over a decade now.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me when I'm doing physical labor with cleaning houses, and I get tired. Then I'm like, oh crap, what was on the news today? Like I always have to like rush and find stuff to talk about, review, and whatever. So it's like, oh, and then I seem a little burnt out, so I have to depend on like a Coke or a little thing of coffee with espresso to kind of boost my energy back for like an evening to night stream.
Yeah, it's tough. It's worse for you because you're. And you too, Matt, because you both still have like regular 9-to-5s. Like I do news for a living, and I'm burnt out too.
Yeah.
It's just when the news cycle is this bad, you just it beats you down.
I do have some good news though. My sister's coming down in the summer, and she's gonna take over my job with my mom for like the whole summer, so I can focus on streaming. And I'm like, yes,
nice. That's awesome.
I've been doing this job since I was 16 years old. I've never done another job besides animal sitting too, because I'm an animal whisperer. And so I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this job for like 14 years, and I'm going to have like 2 months off to do what? Like, because my life is my work, period. Like I don't have like a social life or time to do anything else. So I'm like, what am I going to do with all this free time? Like stream 12 hours a day like a son, or what do I do?
That's awesome. And you've never taken like any time off like this? You've just been working straight
only
through?
COVID for like 2 weeks, but like 2 months, I'll be like,
2 months is a lot. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Alrighty. So we've got JCast, $5. Spoiler alert. Einstein joins the Avengers after Oppenheimer eventually turns into Doctor Doom.
Well, Cillian Murphy is the ultimate fan cast for Doctor Doom, so I get it.
Maui with $10. Thank you, Maui. I wrote a thread on X about how U.S. GOP is influencing homophobia in East Africa. Yeah, government's passing laws permitting the death sentence for being gay. Check it out, Inky Octopus. I will. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah. That's been brewing for a while now.
Yeah, Maui, I'd be interested. I'm working on a second edition of the book that I released 9 years ago, and I'm back in the research and writing phase again. I'd be interested in sending that to you, since you also focus on LGBTQ plus rights in developing countries. I'd like to get your thoughts on that for sure. I think you'd be a good source. So send me a message if you're interested. Balthazar, $4.99. Thank you so much. Mike, when's the dog cam happening? Missed engagement opportunities are just passing you by. Yeah, honestly, I haven't Twitch streamed in a really long time. And I've been really getting the itch to do it again. I just don't have a lot of time to do it. I just need to find a good schedule for it, because it's hard. Like I don't want to do a Twitch stream when I feel like I'm just throwing it together. I
throw it together all the time.
Yeah, no, and I think that works for some people. I think that you do fine with that, but for me, like I want people to I want to be engaging and stuff like that. But I do miss it, and I do miss like the chats. I just need to find a better time for it. So I do want to do that, and I think that Poopy wants to be back on Dog Cam too. So
yeah. Oh, so I don't have a YouTube channel, but subscribe to Movie Night Extravaganza because we do that every Tuesday. And again, next Tuesday on the 21st, we are going to have Sam Cedar on. And yeah, I'm excited about that one because
that's fun. Yeah.
Your girl has a crush on him. But and he knows that. But anyway.
There you go. And because she just answered the question without me even reading it, the question from Miss Siren was, where is Christine on YouTube?
I should just hire Forrest as my editor. He's not, but I can't pay him. I would rather have him do the work if I could pay him, because the movie podcast is all he really does at this point, And he never like mentions that he worked for Michael. Like I'm like, dude, you were Michael Brooks' video. Like you gotta, He's like, I don't want. I'm like, no, mention that.
Yeah,
like,
that's a big flex. I would, I would be plugging that, flexing all the time with that.
Yeah.
Terabyte, $2. Happy 50th show of LM. Glad to mod for. Oh, thank you so much, Tara. You're so sweet. I absolutely love you. Thank you. Next one is for Matt.
Narrator with a membership super chat. In One Piece, fishmen have to stay in Fishman Island, and if they leave, they can be made slaves. Also, humans terrorize them in Fishman Island too. Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting themes in One Piece. I just got to episode.
You watching the live 50. One? Is what you're the live action one?
I watched the live action, and then now I'm watching the anime of it. And it's very good. I really am enjoying it. Though I really like the live action, so I thought, hey, I should check out the anime. And yeah, it's really, really good. I think that Luffy is a hilarious character.
I just rewatched Peaky Blinders just because I wanted to feel something.
Okay, hang on. My mouse is freaking out. Hang on. God damn it. Okay.
JCast, David Doel is streaming with David Pacman on Centrist Mafia right now. LOL JK. I mean, that would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, my mouse is dead, and I'm trying to.
Oh boy, Mike really fucked it all up here. Good job, Mike.
Let me plug it in really quick. It's an Apple mouse, Mike. So I can't like.
Here, I'll just see if I could find where you are, and I'll just take over.
It should be highlighted.
Unbelievable. All right, I see it. This is for you, Mike.
Okay. Fuggy Boot Ling, $10 Canadian. I grow vague on the roof of my home in Waterloo, Ontario. Brought a bunch of herbs from my roof to the pizza place across from me this summer. They kept the basil and oregano. What is what are
you, Gordon Ramsay? The basil.
First, I called Trump Tupac, but I called him Tupac, and I'm saying basil.
Well,
what is wrong?
I mean, at least
what's going on here?
At least you're speaking the Queen Mother's English. I mean, calling Trump Tupac was out of nowhere.
That was so weird. They kept the basil and oregano, didn't put it on my pizza. WTF? Interesting. My mouse is completely like dead. What the fuck? I don't know if I'm out of battery or what.
Narrator with a $10 super chat. Has Sanders ever condemned Israel? I know he's expressed sympathy for Palestinians, called for negotiations, but always both sided the violence. Why are leftists acting surprised by Bernie's stance here? I mean, I don't know if he's ever condemned Israel, but he's called for ceasefire before between the two.
We don't know.
He also has been a very, I will never forget the 2016 debate in Brooklyn between Hillary and Bernie, because there was a whole section where they were debating Israel and Palestine. And at that point, I had never heard anyone in such a mainstream position speak so adamantly in favor of Palestinians.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was a major moment. I felt that was a major turning point in our politics. So yeah, I think he has never been anti-Israel, but he's usually made it clear that he cared about the Palestinians when other people in similar positions of power did not.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this even more disappointing, I think.
Yep. Because so far, it's only Dick Durbin is the only in the Senate still, right? This call for a ceasefire.
That's it. Just Dick Durbin, which is the last person I would have suspected to do it first. Yeah, you'll have to take over, Matt, because I can't get my mouse to connect.
This is for me. 0PE with a super chat. You don't make anti-black jokes or anti-trans comments, Matt. That's one thing you could disagree with Vosh on. Oh, I'm sorry that you're complaining about it. I'll start making more anti-black and anti-trans jokes. No, I get what you're saying. I don't know if Vosh says these things. I've never, again, I don't watch that much of any YouTuber. So if that's true, then obviously I am. That's where we would disagree. But also, I don't think we can debate on that. It's just it's not like
not even be a debate about.
That's not like a position or a policy or it's or an ideology. Yeah, that's all right. I guess that's where I differ. I'm, and if that's true, then I'm differ in a. I'm not going to try to not differ on that. Ethan. Oh, this is for you.
Okay, and finally my mouse is working after I knocked all my shit off of this, but I just picked it up. Sorry. Oh my god. Okay, Ethan Osborne, $10. Thank you so much. Embrace Antarcticism. My brain really wants to say anarchism, but the common heritage of mankind principle governing and binding the Antarctic Treaty System is communist. Antarctica is communist. I didn't know this. Or maybe I did, but forgot. But that's interesting. I'll look into that.
Nice.
0PE. Thank y'all for, and thank you for the $4.99. Thank y'all for highlighting the Congo. All countries that are being affected by U.S. settler colonialism and imperialism should be highlighted. Yes, absolutely, because there's a lot. It's a very long list, unfortunately. Let's see here. There would be a downside. This is for me, Balthazar, $9.99. Thank you so much. There would also be a downside of validating all the Mormon conspiracies about ancient Jews sailing to America. The Dome of the Rock. What do you mean? It's clearly here in the USA. That's true. Yeah. For those who don't know, there's a lot. The Mormons believe that, like, oh God, I'm gonna butcher it, but like they think that Jesus is going to come back to like the United States, or that Palestine's in the United States. I don't know specifically what it is, but it's very geographically illiterate. It's been a while since I've looked at that, but it's very fucked up.
I don't know about any of that, but Mormon dudes who come to move into these apartment complexes I live in, they love to try to pick up on me to be a wife. And I'm like,
oh God,
I'm not dressing up like that. I'm not converting. I'm sorry. I'm an atheist.
Yeah. Mormons are very usually nice in my experience, but
they're nice, but it's like
when they knock on my door, you fucked up. That's not okay. Don't bug me and sell me religion. That's the worst thing you could do. Like, you might as well just like spit in my face.
Probably worse things they could do.
That's right. But like, don't bug me with the bullshit about religion. I keep getting these letters from like local Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh God.
It's like these handwritten letters, and it's like, I swear to God, like, stop. Stop.
There are people who like to randomly find, like, search people on the internet and give them like a nice card. That happened to my mom, like, after my father died, and we're like, who the hell is this? And how did they find your name and our address? And give us an uplifting card, sweet and all, but like, you couldn't give us money?
Yeah, and that's weird. Oh, okay, so somebody in the chat says Mormons believe the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. Yeah, it's like really weird fucking shit. Like this. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Very weird stuff. Okay, let's see. Narrator with $10. There are countries that are worse to their own people, but that's a limited scope. No country treats its own people worse than we treat the black and brown people in the global south. I think that's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point, for sure. We're a very fucked up country.
Mm-hmm. We're the worst.
Yeah, undeniably so. Yeah, my dogs are goth. $20 Canadian. I don't know why I like that. Happy 50th episode. Thank you for the content, Mike. You really appreciate you saying that. You're truly an inspiration to me. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. Keep speaking truth to power. I'm recovering from a knee replacement, so I'm feeling good at this particular moment. Hell yeah.
I mean, you guys, all you guys deserve praise because there are so many people, not going to mention names, who have disappointed me in this space. You know, their views have changed. They've, you know,
I think you should name a few. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know a few of them, but I can't say. But
no, you can. This is the show where you can say that.
And even though I'm kind of still friends with her, it's, you know, I was there for
Come
her.
on, give me more. Give me more. I want to hear more.
And
you don't have to do it, Christina.
But
drama. I want more.
There's also other people too. So it's like
who?
Know,
who? Anna is a given. Give me another one. Give me someone who we wouldn't expect.
You don't have to, Christina.
Do it.
I can't really think of anyone right now that I'm not as close to, but yeah.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Come on, give it to me.
But yeah, it's, you know, you guys have stayed, you know, true to yourselves in the end.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think that's good. Like a lot of people will say Sam's a shill and Emma's a shill, and I'm like,
nah.
Sam and Emma.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Who says that?
You know, the people who call every one of us shit libs.
Oh, they don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no.
All right, we've got a couple for you in a row, Matt.
All right, Brian B with the super chat. Forget getting him as a guest. Kyle Klinsky needs to be instated as a permanent part of Leftist Mafia. Dude will drop truth while eating gummy worms. I want to have Kyle on as a guest. Wait, is him eating gummy worms the thing?
On Kyle and Corn, they usually have their snacks that they eat, and he has like a lot of gummy stuff. From what I remember.
Is this also for me?
Yeah, a couple of them are for you, yeah.
B Buccaneer with a $10 super chat. Matt, did you hear about the TikTok influencer who was offered $5,000 to promote pro-Israeli talking points? Others have been approached too. I have heard about this. I am skeptical about some of the stuff I've seen because I think one of the emails that someone shared, it was like the most like stereotypical like name possible, where it seemed like it could have been a fake. But I have seen people who have not shared that type of stuff say that they've received stuff to the point where it's probably going on, but also be careful that you're not sharing one that isn't for real. I mean, you see a bunch of celebrities share the same sort of content across the board around the same time, same wording and everything. If not like a paid campaign, like there clearly is some sort of influencer campaign going on.
Right. Another one for you.
Narrator with a $20 super chat. If you're not willing to possibly risk American lives or privilege for the sake of foreign lives actively being taken, that's your politics. The politics of cynicism and self-interest, but it's not my politics, not at anyone. Good night. Well, yeah. Thanks, narrator. Right.
This one's for me. Balthazar 228 with $4.99. Thank you so much. Zero is confused. Vosh only goes after horses.
I know what that's about, but I'm not going to mention any of that.
I don't know what that's about, but based on your reaction, I don't want to know.
Nope.
Okay, last one for you, Matt.
The Synapsis with a super chat. Got it. Welcome to my life. If your favorite. Welcome to my life. If your favorite. For all three of you, what is your favorite soft drink, soda brand, and flavor? Oh boy, this is a. I mean, I like any sort of non-diet caffeinated soda. Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper.
I'm just straight up Coke.
Certain flavors of Mountain Dew. I like Baja Blast the best. That is fantastic. Only available at Taco Bell though. Yeah, anything like that is good to me. What about you, Mike?
I'm gonna say Diet Pepsi. That's my favorite right now, but it changes. Sometimes it's Diet Coke. Sometimes it's Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Can't do diet. Can't do that. No good. No good.
No, I don't like that. It's not sweet. Like, yeah, I just like Coca-Cola. Like that's what because I'm a big fan of like peanut butter. It's kind of a genetic thing, and there's nothing better than Coke and the taste of like peanuts or peanut butter goes so well together.
Oh, this is okay. Someone just mentioned it. Now I get. Synapses said, "Got it. Welcome to my life is your favorite." That was in reference to the very first question, what my favorite Simple Plan song was. Now it makes sense. Welcome to my life, right?
All right. Well,
that's everything. Oh wait, over on Twitch, really quick. I just got a few over on Twitch. Let me really quick. Abond V with 500 bits. Thank you so much. Congrats on the 50th episode, Abond V says. Thank you. We also got Spooky Sequels. Subscribe with Prime. Thank you, Spooky Sequels. No Comment Chick. CC rated earlier about 30 minutes ago. I didn't even see that. Thank you, No Comment Chick. Really appreciate that.
I love her. She's great.
And a Social Communist. Resubscribe with Prime. Subscriber for 17 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, folks. Was there anything? Oh, Mike, did you have any on Twitch or anything?
I don't have any on Twitch, but when it comes to who we should raid, I have a person in mind.
Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more super chat. Oh, there's two more super chats. This one's for you, Mike.
Oh, is it? I don't see that on my side. Oh, it's not showing up for me. Are you sure this isn't for David Doel?
Maybe it's for David Doel. It's not for me, though.
Well, Ethan Osborne, $2. Hinkle and Haas said y'all are afraid to debate them. LOL.
What? Wait, he specifically mentioned Leftist Mafia. I will.
Mr. P.
I will debate Hinkle any day. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna. Well, let me. I will obviously debate Hinkle at a agreed scheduled time, because he's gonna pull that shit where he's gonna like send me like a live stream link when he's live and I'm unavailable and say, you said any time. I will be happy to debate Hinkle when I'm available and when he's available, when we're both available for a debate. But yes, I would absolutely do that. Did he really call us out specifically?
I don't think that he is somebody who should be given your attention or anyone's attention, because he is not a good faith actor. He is a grifter who just says whatever. So it doesn't matter if you do a debate with him and you BTFO him. You're just giving him what he wants. I think that's what happened with Sam Cedar. Sam Cedar debated him, and then he got popular in part because of that. Like, when grifters, they are like so thirsty for attention and clout, you have to deny them that attention that these attention whores seek. So I personally would recommend you don't debate him. You can say that we're afraid to debate you or not. Suck my dick. I don't care about you. You don't need attention.
That's why I don't do debates, because they're just pointless. And like, even people like, you should go to these debate panels. I'm like, and discuss what? Why people someone wanted me to go on a panel, like a debate panel for like the left, center, liberal, conservative, like about like, you know, is it cool to have sex with dogs or something like that? And I'm like, I'm not debating that topic.
God.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's not worth a debate. We should all agree that it's wrong. But
yeah, I was on one debate panel, and it was so Dylan Burns invited me to a debate panel. I didn't really know that this was going to be a debate panel, and it gave me brainworms. Like, I'm like, Dylan, what the fuck did you get me into? Like, there was this weird MAGA chut on there that wouldn't shut the fuck. It was like, oh my god, why? And that was that was my first and last debate. I tried to debate what's his name, Styx Hexenhammer, on the Drunken Peasants, and then he bailed 3 times. I'm like, okay, what is the point? Like, this is so pointless. Huh?
I think I still have like the version of Hinkle that debated Sam Cedar in my mind, and I forgot.
No,
he's become a completely
on roids.
Yeah, complete like far right grifter.
The dude is Nazi posting. I just muted him. I'm like, I don't want to see this dipshit on my feed. So,
but
yeah,
you know what?
I don't think we should give people like that attention.
Depending on what it was, though, I think I would actually, based on the topic, because the dude is spreading so much bullshit that no one calls him out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think anybody takes him seriously, is why, probably.
He's got 2 million followers on Twitter now, buddy.
So there is ample evidence that somebody posted, I can't remember who, that he bought it, that he just like jumped from like 200K to like 1 million. Like you're a good investigator on this. I think that you should look into that.
Send me. I mean, I do think something is obviously
I'll
weird there.
I'll find you the
but
tweet.
But also, it's not like his posts don't get a lot of interactions. He's getting tons of interactions.
No, for sure. But yeah, some of that shit is straight up just like he's paying for it. Like he's just. I think clout chasers and grifters should not be given attention. But I'll show you if I could find the tweet. Somebody posted like his social blade. And it's like, oh, this is completely organic and natural. But okay, is there? You said there was one more, right? I don't think. I think this is for you also, or for David Doel.
It's for me. Tony Rizzo with a member chat. Patreon.com/Matt Binder, and if you got a few bucks to spare after that. Linktree/Rizzo. Tony Mama needs a new PC, right? Tony's a regular listener and viewer and caller on my show. Yeah, thank you, Tony.
Well, I believe that is it. I'm refreshing. I don't see any new ones. So what do you say we raid Rayvon on Twitch?
Okay.
Oh wait, Rayvon is on?
Yeah, she's on right now. Yeah, 2 Ys.
Hold on, I know who Rayvana is. Thank you very much.
That's my girl.
Well, just in case.
Hold on, give me a second. Don't do it yet.
Just in case you don't know how to spell it, to be clear.
My computer's going really slow. 1 second. I don't know what's going on here.
3, 2, what?
Wait. I didn't even get to click it yet. Hold on.
She'll get a triple raid.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's going so slow. It still isn't even showing me her channel. 1 second.
Oh my god.
Did you guys click it yet?
I just have it ready.
Yeah.
All right, it's filling it up now. 10, 9. Give me a second. 2. All right, ready to press it?
All right, let's do it. We'll see you all next week.
Yep.